you doing?
I'm dusting. What does it look like I'm doing?
Oh. May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Don't ever take it up as a profession.
Patty, have we got any steak in the house?
We're having chicken for dinner. What do you want to steak?
Ross, what happened to your eye?
I was attacked by a monster.
Oh, you mean some bully did that to you?
Forget it, Patty. Just tell me where I can find some steak to put on this eye.
No, I'm not going to forget it. What do you think sisters are for? I'm not going to sit here and let something like this happen to you.
Gee, Patty, I didn't think you'd get so steamed up about it.
Well, of course I'm steamed up. Now, who did that?
And his name's Jerry Mitchell. He's a new kid at school.
Well,
He's about 3 inches taller than I am, and he weighs about 10 pounds more than I do.
how did the fight start?
Well, I don't know. At recess, he started shoving me around, and when I told him to cut it out, he belted me in the eye.
Come on.
Where are we going?
To school to get his address, and then we're going over to his house, and I'm going to turn him over my knee and give him a spanking he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Are you really?
I told you, no one lays a hand on my kid brother.
Hello, I'm Alan Mitchell.
You are? I'm Patty Lane.
Well, it seems that my little brother Jerry got in a fight with your brother today, and I came by to apologize. We just moved into the neighborhood, and I'm afraid that's a bad way to get started. Oh, boy. Well, if it's any consolation to you, my brother has a black eye, too.
You gave his brother a black eye? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What?
Come in, won't you, Mr. Mitchell?
Alan.
Alan.
Oh, boy.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. Thought they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet,
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves her rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
As a matter of fact, we were just on our way over to your house.
Oh? What for?
Well, to apologize.
Apologize?
That's right. As I was saying to Ross, one just doesn't go around getting into fights with new neighbors, does one?
I didn't get into a fight with him. He got into a fight with me.
Ross, why don't you go find yourself a steak, I'm terribly sorry about this. Ross must learn to control his temper.
No, I'm not so sure it was Ross's fault. I have a feeling that Jerry likes to fight.
Well, don't you worry. I have a feeling they're going to be very good friends.
Well, I hope so.
I believe in being neighborly, Alan. Where are you from?
Oregon.
Oh.
Yeah, we just moved here last week.
You planning to stay for a while?
Yes, My dad just bought a sports car agency here in town.
A sports car agency? I love sports cars.
Do you? Well, so do I. I have 3 of them.
You have 3 sports cars?
Yeah, I race them.
I'll bet you win a lot.
I have a few trophies. Yeah. Hey, maybe you'd like to go for a ride sometime.
I'd love to.
All right, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
I've really got to go now and get dressed for a date.
Yeah, I'd better be getting dressed, too. Dinner in the theater, you know. It gets to be such a bore doing the same thing every night.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll have Jerry apologize to Ross.
Oh, don't you do any such thing. I'll have Ross apologize to Jerry. I mean, after all, your brother's new in the neighborhood. And we wouldn't want anyone in your family to get the wrong impression of anyone in our family.
Yeah, well, I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya.
We didn't have any steak in the house. Besides, It's none of your business. You're not a member of my family anymore.
Oh, come on, Ross. I did it for your own good.
You're a Benedict Arnold.
Do you want to be known as the town bully?
No, and I don't want to be known as the town punching bag either.
You're not going to be. You and Jerry Mitchell are going to be very good friends.
Why?
Because he's going to be your brother-in-law.
Oh, Kathy, would you pour some milk, please?
So where's Ross? I haven't seen him since I got home.
He's up in his room, dear.
Well, isn't he coming down for dinner?
Patty, will you go see what your brother's doing?
He's not my brother anymore.
Patty, have you and Ross been fighting again?
He's been fighting, but not with me.
Oh, I'll get the salad.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, hi, son. Ross, how'd you get that black eye?
By being a bully.
You were in a fight?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, Ross, you know how I feel about things like that.
I couldn't help it, Dad.
Dad, do you think it's neighborly to go around beating up new kids in the neighborhood?
I don't think it's neighborly to go around beating up anybody.
Well, I was minding my own business in the schoolyard, and this new kid named Jerry Mitchell came up to me and started shoving me around. And when I asked him to quit it, he hauled off and belted me in the eye.
Oh. Well, Ross, when somebody behaves that way, there must be a reason for it. Maybe he has a personality problem or something of that kind. But violence is no solution to a problem. Now, you're an intelligent boy. The next time he pushes you around, I want you to use that intelligence. Talk to him. Reason with him.
Well, what if I do all those things and he still won't listen?
Then you can belt him in the eye.
Okay, Jerry. Who is it?
It's Patty. Hi there. Look what I brought you, my transistor radio. You've always wanted it. It's yours.
What's the catch?
Who's anything about a catch? If a sister can't be nice to her own brother, who can't you be nice to?
Jerry Mitchell's brother.
Well, it can't hurt you to be nice to Jerry. Now, I want you to invite him to dinner tomorrow night.
Okay, but he won't come.
Why not?
Because tomorrow morning I'm going to punch him in the nose.
You better not.
I thought you were on my side.
I'm on the side of peaceful coexistence. Now, tomorrow morning I want you to go up to Jerry and shake his hand and tell him you're very sorry.
Go up to him, shake his hand, and tell him I'm very sorry.
That's right.
Then I'll punch him in the nose.
Ross, this is your last warning. I don't want to hear of you fighting with Jerry.
Well, I'll try and keep it quiet.
Try to befriend somebody.
Sisters.
Any luck? He thinks he's Cassius Clay. I don't know what's gotten into him, Kathy. All I know is I'm not going to let him ruin things between Alan and me. What about Richard and you? We can't ruin that. Oh, Kathy, wait till you meet him. He's really something else. Yes, and I think I know what. What? Trouble. Pat, you hardly know Alan, and you're siding with him against your own brother. Just because I'm going out with Alan doesn't mean I'm against Ross. When are you going out with him? The second he asks me.
Hi, Kath.
Ross, what happened?
Nothing.
Jerry Mitchell again,
At recess, he started shoving me around again. I tried to stay away from his right hook, but then I found out something. He's got a left hook you wouldn't believe.
Who started it?
I did, I guess. I went up to say hello to him, and he hit me in the eye.
It's terrible. Did you hit him back?
Who had a chance?
Ross, you can't come home like this every day. We've got to do something about it.
I know. I'm running out of eyes. I can't do anything about it, Kathy. He's just too big.
Size doesn't mean anything.
You want to bet?
Ross, we're going to fix that young Jerry Mitchell right now.
Where are you going?
I'm going to call someone who's going to teach you how to fight. Hello, Richard. This is Kathy. Could you come right over, please? We have an emergency here. Fine.
You mean to say this kid just came up to you and beat you up without any reason?
Oh, he's got a reason. He's bigger than I am.
Can you teach Ross to box?
I'll do better than that. I'll teach him some judo.
Oh, boy. Can you really do it?
Certainly. I've been trained for years.
Will it take long?
I can teach him enough tricks to take care of himself in a couple of hours.
Wonderful. I'll just sit by and watch.
Oh, good. Let me see your muscle. You better put some old clothes on, though. You're going to be falling a lot.
It's certainly nice of you to do this, Richard.
Oh, my pleasure. But why didn't Patty ask me?
Patty?
Well, I mean, it's her brother.
Well, Richard, I think it would be better if we didn't mention this to Patty right now.
Why not?
I think we should surprise her.
Boy, she's really going to be surprised when she learns that I taught Ross, isn't she?
Yes. Hello, Alan? This is Patty.
Patty?
Lane, Ross's older sister.
Oh, yeah, sure. Hi.
Hi. Listen, how's your little brother?
Well, he's fine.
Oh, good. I was worried about him. Look, the reason I called is, well, I wanted to be sure you told him not to worry about Ross bothering him anymore.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about Jerry.
Oh, good, because I wouldn't want him to get the wrong impression of our family.
Well, I'll mention it to him.
Good. How are all your sports cars?
Oh, well, they're fine.
Good. Have you won any races lately?
Since yesterday, no.
Oh. Well, you know, I was thinking about it. I mean, after you mentioned it yesterday. It must be wild driving around in a car like that with all that power throbbing inside of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it must give you a great sense of, a power, huh?
Yes, it's really quite a kick.
Yeah. Well, did I tell you I'd never ridden in a sports car?
Yeah, I think you did. If you'll excuse me, I've got to go now.
Oh, you gonna go driving in your car?
No, I'm going down to Miller's garage and working my carburetor.
You mean you fix cars? Oh, it's marvelous to be able to work with your hands.
Well, thank you for calling.
Oh, that's all right. I was just sitting here thinking, and I thought... Well, I thought I'd like to go out for a breath of fresh air. And then I thought, no, first I better call and see how your little brother is. You say he's okay, huh?
Yes, he's fine.
Oh, well, that's good, because I was really worried about him. By the way, isn't my house right on the way to Miller's garage?
No, Miller's garage is right around the corner from here.
Oh, well, then you can practically walk there, can't you? Well, I mean, if you didn't need your car to fix it when you got there.
Yes.
I mean, you say your brother's really all right, huh?
Yes, I'm sure he's fine. Thank you for calling now. Bye.
All right, feet set. All right, now throw a punch at me. Oh, wait a minute. Not so fast. You gotta go slower. I can't teach you.
Oh, all right.
Throw another punch. Parry with the left, grab the wrist, twist the arm up behind, and hold onto the shirt. You got it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you try.
Go ahead. Throw a punch in.
Now, come in a little closer. All right, okay. Parry, grab. Okay, Ross.
Hey, I got it.
Yeah, you're breaking my arm, too.
Well, it didn't take long to learn that at all, did it?
I can teach him enough tricks so he'll throw that Jerry Mitchell around the schoolyard like a basketball. Ross, I'm supposed to be teaching you.
Oh, sorry. Just get carried away.
You need more than one hold anyway. Okay, now. Come in a little closer and get your feet apart.
All right.
I'm going to show you the kick-back throw. You step in, grab the shoulders, and kick. Ross, you want to learn it, don't you?
Hi, Kathy. Have I had any calls? Not since I've been home. You sure? Yes. I mean, you're sure Alan Mitchell didn't call me? Was he supposed to? Well, I happened to run into him at Miller's garage, and he said he might call. What were you doing at Miller's garage? Never mind. You know, Kathy, you'll never know how different a car looks from underneath. I beg your pardon. Well, I mean, they keep all kinds of secret things under there. Patty, do you mean to tell me you crawled under a car to talk to Alan Mitchell? Of course not. It was up on a rack. You know, he really looks cute in overalls with grease all over him. By the way, have you seen Ross? I don't think he's home from school yet. Oh, I just want to make sure he stops picking on poor little Jerry Mitchell. Been picking on poor little Jerry Mitchell again?
Very funny.
Didn't you use the judo hold Richard taught you?
Sure I did. Only he got out of it and flipped me over.
What about the kickback throw?
I tried everything.
Well, don't you worry, Ross. We're not licked yet.
What do you mean, we?
You say this kid knows judo?
I'll say he does.
I'll bet you he doesn't know karate, and that's what I'm going to teach you.
Are you sure it works?
Have I ever failed you? Never mind. I promise you, tomorrow this kid's going to be running from you in terror. Get up.
He is?
Sure, it's the most dangerous thing there is. Notice anything special about my hand?
It needs washing.
It's a deadly weapon.
It is?
As a matter of fact, in a lot of states, a karate expert has to register his hand with the proper authorities. Now watch this. First you get the balance. Then aim. Perfect aim. A lot of concentration. Then take a deep breath. You notice the aim? Keep your eye on that. Now watch.
You're right. It is a deadly weapon.
I think you're right, Richard. Ross does need some fundamental training.
There you are. A week with these and Ross will look like Samson.
Good. Well, should we... Richard. Richard! Those are for Ross, shall we call him?
Oh, okay.
Thought I'd fix that thing. I'll just stay like that till I get my tools.
This is one of the best bodybuilders there is.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Hello, Dad.
Oh, hi, Mr. Lane. Can I help you?
Oh, gee, thank you, Richard. That's very nice. Oh, I'll need that in the house.
Oh,
Thanks a lot.
those are pretty tricky. You gotta take it easy at first. Now, wait a minute, Ross. You gotta do this right. First, we gotta make sure your thumbs are folded down right. There, like that. Okay. Now, I want you to think of all your strength being in your shoulders, your arms, and your wrists. And when I say pull, I want you to pull with all your might. Are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay. Ready? Pull!
Are you all right? Here.
That was great, Ross. Come on, get up.
I can't.
Why not?
Well, there's no strength in my little legs. It's all gone to my shoulders, arms, and wrists.
You know what the trouble with you is?
What?
Psychological. You know what I mean, Kath?
I think so.
What you need is confidence, see?
Yeah.
What you should do is say to yourself, I'm stronger than he is, I can beat him.
Yeah.
Well, say it.
I'm stronger than he is. I can beat him.
Say it again.
I'm stronger than he is. I can beat him.
Once more.
I'm stronger than he is. I can beat him.
Did you say I'm stronger than he is, I can beat him?
I didn't get a chance.
Why not?
When I opened my mouth, he stuck his fist in it.
You're kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding? Oh, it was pitiful. I tried judo and he threw me. Then I played my ace card. I started that karate move you showed me. You're right. It's murder.
Oh, hi, Rich. Oh, Holy cow, you look like a disaster area. What happened?
Nothing.
Don't tell me you've been fighting with little Jerry Mitchell again.
Patty, you've got it all wrong. Jerry Mitchell has been beating up Ross. That's why I've been teaching Ross self-defense.
Self-defense?
Yeah, you know, defending himself.
You've been what?
Yeah, it was Kath's idea.
Thanks a lot, cousin. Well, someone had to do something about Ross. Well, somebody is going to do something about Ross right now.
What's the matter, Patty?
I'd rather not go into it at the moment. I'll get it.
Hi.
Hi, Alan.
May I talk to you for a minute?
Sure,
please?
let's go someplace quiet.
It's Jerry Mitchell's brother.
Come on in, Alan.
Thank you.
This is my cousin Kathy, this is Alan Mitchell, and this is Richard Harrison.
Hi.
Alan is a brother of a friend of Ross's.
A what of mine?
Yes, Jerry mentioned to me that you two had another fight today.
Oh, I'm sure it was just a friendly little argument. You know how those things happen.
I've told Jerry 1,000,000 times not to get in any fights.
Then why is he always fighting?
Well, I guess it's my fault. I taught him a little boxing and some judo and karate, and it must have gone to his head.
No, it went to mine.
He told me that you tried to use some of that against him. You shouldn't have, you know. He's really pretty good.
Good, he's an expert.
And so will Ross be when I'm through teaching him. He just needs a little practice.
Now, look, it's not a good idea to encourage this sort of thing.
Who says so?
Oh, look, why don't we all go down and have a nice soda, huh?
Look, you shouldn't fool around with things you don't understand.
How about a milkshake?
Things I don't understand. I've been studying judo for 3 years.
How, by correspondence?
Sunday.
Come out in the backyard and I'd be glad to give you a little demonstration.
A banana split.
Now, look, I wouldn't want to take advantage of you.
Don't worry. You won't be. We'll be right back.
What are you going to do?
Teach your friend here a little lesson.
Listen, my car is right outside. As soon as I get finished with him, I'll take you on that drive I promised you, okay?
I gotta see this.
Patty, are you just going to stand there and let this happen? Kathy, it's been happening since time began. Brave men fighting over the woman they love. Who am I to fly in the face of tradition? You mean you're not going to do anything? And embarrass both of them? You really don't know much about male psychology, do you? Oh! Let's go! What happened?
He's out cold.
Who is?
What do you think?
Richard! What happened? I thought you were an expert.
How much can you learn through the mail?
Well, I'm ready if you are. We can take a drive along the Merritt Parkway.
Do you think I would go out with a bully like you?
A bully like me?
Of course, look what you've done to me.
Ow!
I'm sorry. Don't you worry, I'll take very good care of you, Richard.
I don't understand.
How could you understand? You and your big moose of a brother are too busy going around beating up the neighborhood. I will thank you, Mr. Mitchell, to leave and never darken my doorway again. I'll show you to the door.
Yes. You know, I thought I understood women.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You just don't understand Patty.
What he didn't tell me was he was boxing champ in college. Boy, did he make me feel like an amateur.
Oh, Richard, I'm so sorry it happened.
Oh, it was worth it, Mrs. Lane. You should have seen the way Patty lit into him.
Well, I should hope so.
You know, she's over there now straightening out that moose of a brother of his.
Don't you think it would be better if we just forgot the whole thing?
Yeah, maybe we ought to keep these feuds confined to the family and not involve strangers.
Well, I don't want to feud anymore. I feel like I got my sister back again.
How'd it go, champ?
Richard, here's a steak for you. Ross, here's a steak for you.
What's the chicken for?
That is a rough family.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
Dad, I'm lending me $10.
Oh, well, then I strongly suggest that you get into another line of work. When it comes to asking your father for money, there is no fresh approach.
Isn't that kind of a defeatist attitude?
Maybe. But I certainly wouldn't bother him right now. He's edgy enough about this dinner.
Oh? Who's coming?
Eloise Sutton.
Doesn't she write the society column for his paper?
Yes, and her contract's up for renewal, and your father's very worried that he might lose her.
Poor Dad. He's really got his hands full. I mean, trying to run a whole newspaper office and then trying to keep us happy at home.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're beginning to understand that, darling.
Oh, I do. And I certainly wouldn't bother him tonight about $10. I mean, compared to his problem, what's a measly $10?
Good.
Mom,
Yeah?
would you lend me a measly $10?
Pass.
Just thought I'd ask.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
Gee, the table looks nice, Nat.
Well, thank you, darling. After all, Eloise Sutton is your society editor.
Mm-hmm.
Martin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dad, I've just made a very important decision.
Namely?
When I go to college, I do not want you to buy me a brand new car.
Oh, well, that's very noble of you, especially since I wasn't planning to buy you even a brand old car.
Oh, no car at all then. And since I'm willing to make that great sacrifice, could I please have $10?
Hattie, now you know this is going to be a rough evening for me. I'd think instead of accentuating the negative, you'd try to think of some way to help.
Oh, I'll help. What do you want me to do?
Well, you can begin by seeing that nobody disturbs us.
Okay.
And another thing you could do to help would be to take care of Pierre while Miss Sutton is here.
She's bringing her son?
No, her dog.
Oh, Martin, you didn't tell me she was bringing that spoiled little dog.
Well, the sitter canceled at the last minute.
A sitter? For a dog?
Why couldn't she get another sitter?
Listen, you just can't find a registered nurse at a moment's notice.
Let's get one thing straight, Martin. I am not going to set a place at this dining room table for a dog.
Well, of course not. He can eat at the kitchen table with Patty.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet,
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, then you'll find. They laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
That was a lovely dinner, Mrs. Lane.
Thank you.
Say thank you to Mrs. Lane, Pierre.
You're welcome.
You're very understanding. You know, there are people who object to eating at the same table with Pierre.
Not really.
Well, it takes all kinds. Personally, I think it's rather novel to eat with a dog.
Martin, please, don't use the word D-O-G in front of Pierre. It humiliates him.
Sorry. Eloise, about the contract, have you looked at it?
Yes, I found it very amusing reading.
Oh, come on now, Eloise, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's a nice increase and lots of benefits.
Oh, I think Pierre's getting fidgety. Let's talk about it when I come back from Palm Beach.
Shall we have coffee in the living room?
Fine.
Hi. Company still here?
Yeah,
I thought you ate at Billy's house.
they had vegetable cutlets. Want to split a liverwurst sandwich with me?
Ugh, no.
All more for me.
Ross, remember last month when you said you'd never forget that favor I did for you?
Yeah. What was it you did for me, anyway?
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. The point is I need $10 desperately, and I've exhausted every other source but you.
You know what?
What?
You just exhausted your last source. What's that?
That belongs to Eloise Sutton.
Scat! Get away from me.
Ross, that is no way to talk to a dog.
Oh, it's a dog.
But Pierre, baby, what happened? Oh, someone must have spoken sharply to him. Now he can't bear that. Pierre, baby, it's all right. Everything's going to be all right. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. It's the only way to calm him down. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Isn't that uncanny?
He's just like a baby.
Worse.
The poor dear's going to be 4 days without me while I'm on that assignment in Palm Beach. And would you believe it? I think he already knows that I'm going.
Really?
Poor thing will go absolutely to pieces. He knows I'll have to put him in that Kennel. You see, I can't even get away with spelling it anymore. Oh, I'd do anything rather than have to put him in that you-know-what.
You mean to tell me there isn't a good one somewhere?
No. What, they all treat their, like animals.
Well, can't you find someone who'd take care of them in their home while you're gone as a favor?
A favor? Well, I'd pay if only I could find the right someone. But Pierre is so choosy. You know, I think he's a bit of a snob.
Wonder where you could have picked that up.
Would you like some more coffee, Eloise?
No, thank you.
Hold it.
What are you doing?
Never mind.
What I really should do is get a companion for Pierre on a full-time basis. But who can afford it on my salary?
Oh, now, Eloise.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you still had company.
Oh, that's all right, Patty. Eloise, this is our daughter, Patty. Patty, this is Eloise Sutton.
How do you do?
How do you do? Oh, what a little darling. Hello there, sweetheart. Well, hello. What's his name?
Pierre, he likes you, Patty.
Oh, all dogs like me.
But Pierre likes so few people.
Oh, really?
Martin, look, he loves Patty.
Oh, and I just love him. Miss Sutton, if you ever want to go away and leave him, I'd be very happy to take care of him for you. Well, it was nice to meet both of you.
Patty, wait a moment.
Yes?
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, Patty, would you?
Would I what?
Look after Pierre while I'm gone.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's up to my mother and father.
Martin?
Natalie?
Who can I pass the buck to?
Mrs. Lane, I'd be terribly grateful. Terribly.
Well, it might be kind of fun for the kids, huh, Nat?
Well, if it's all right with you, Martin.
Well,
Oh, of course I'd want to pay Patty for her trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, I would insist on giving you something.
Oh, no.
Well, at least let me pay you what I'd give the kennel, $15.
Oh, no.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it.
Oh, no. I mean, $10 would be just fine. Now, is there anything I ought to know about Pierre?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did make up a list of instructions for the kennel. A few simple do's and don'ts. I have them right here. Now, if you'll just follow this and pay particular attention to pages 5 and 19, you should have no problem, dear.
Natalie, I don't know what you're making such a fuss about. That dog is only going to be here for a couple of days.
4 is an odd couple.
Oh, why get upset in advance? Now, Patty has promised to be completely responsible for him. The least we can do is show a little faith in her. Well...
Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy got away from me.
Oh, that's okay. Hi there, little fella. How are you?
You know, I think he said he was fine.
Oh,
Come on, Natalie. Why don't you break down and admit he's cute?
I'll admit it when I break down.
Mom, do you have any monosodium glutamate?
Yes, dear, it's on the top shelf in the spice rack. What do you want it for?
For Pierre's dinner.
You're kidding.
No, it says right here in the instructions. Page 13. For dinner, Pierre must have half a pound of freshly ground sirloin sprinkled liberally with monosodium glutamate.
Now, I've heard everything.
Oh, I hope you don't mind, Mom. I'm using that hamburger that was in the refrigerator.
Well, it's not sirloin and it's not freshly ground.
How's he gonna know? He's just a dog. Oh, sweet little doggy. There you are, Pierre. Pierre, that's perfectly good meat. Pierre! Oh.
What happened?
Oh, I tried to give him that hamburger, and I guess I insulted him.
Oh, that's okay, fella. Now, come on, perk up. Everything's all right.
That's not going to do any good, Martin.
Why not?
Don't you remember what Miss Sutton said? You've got to sing Rockabye Baby.
Right. Pierre. Rockabye baby in the... That's not working. Mom, you sing to him.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, come on, Natalie, you have to.
I've put in my time with Rockabye Baby. Suppose you try.
Me?
Oh, Papa, please, if you don't calm him down soon, he'll have a nervous breakdown. It says so in the instructions.
But... Okay, I will. Rockabye, rockabye baby in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
It's working, Papa. I think he loves you.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. It's probably just the timbre of my voice.
Oh, Martin, I always said you were irresistible.
I guess I am.
Oh, that's perfect, Pierre. Just like Mommy fixed it.
Hi.
Oh, did you get the bubble bath?
Yep. Mr. Sparrow at the drugstore said he'd like to know how you like this particular brand of bubble bath.
You didn't tell him it's for the dog?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I see your point.
You all right?
Yeah, fine. Why?
Well, that won't tell you the temperature of the water.
I'm measuring it, stupid. It's not supposed to be any more than 4 inches deep.
Oh.
Good. Okay, now. 1 level tablespoon of La Rose bubble bath. There we go.
That doesn't smell like $1.75 to me. I'll bet you could have used the bubble bath you use.
Ross, when a dog knows the difference between chopped meat and sirloin, I don't kid around. Okay, Pierre, here we go. Oh, don't look so unhappy. You're gonna like it a lot. Isn't that nice? Oh, that's good.
He likes it.
Oh, I forgot his towels. Now you stay there.
These towels have to be baked?
Ross, will you please get out of here and let me do this alone?
Oh, boy. Good luck.
Pierre! Oh. Papa, be careful. The dog is wet.
I know. Oh, well, I'm just playing Pierre's favorite game, fetch the ball.
You mean when you play fetch the ball with Pierre, you have to do the fetching?
Yes, something like that. I'm coming, Pierre, I'm coming. Extend their advertising contract for an additional 6 months.
Good.
Now, as far as Eloise Sutton is concerned, TJ, I think I can say that her renewal is practically in the bag.
How can you be so sure?
Well, let's just say that she's under a slight obligation to me.
But what about this rumor that the Evening Express has made her a very attractive offer?
TJ, believe me, if she doesn't sign with us for another year, she won't have another year.
Hello? Just a moment, please. For you.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Hello?
Papa, I know you're busy, but this is a crisis. Pierre is crying again, and no matter how much I sing to him, he won't stop.
Well, now, Patty, I'm in the middle of a very important meeting.
I know, Papa, but he's really carrying on. You've got to sing to him.
Patty, that's ridiculous.
Papa, if you don't sing to him, he could have a nervous breakdown. And then when Miss Sutton comes back, she'll...
All right, put him on.
Okay. Take it away.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
Louder, Papa.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
Papa, you've got to sing out.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Patty, I forbid you, I absolutely forbid you ever to call me at the office again about that animal. You have no idea how embarrassing it is. Now, he is your responsibility, not mine. And you have to carry that responsibility out. And if you... Will you shut up?
Papa, you're not supposed to talk to him like that. Miss Sutton says... Hey, it worked.
Well, it's time somebody took that dog in hand. You, out!
Papa, you did it! You solved the whole problem. Boy, Miss Sutton had a wrong number on that dog. Hey, Ross, will you hear Papa's a regular lion tamer with that dog? I think he's really got the problem licked.
You licked him? No wonder he went out the back door.
He went out the...
Oh, no. And you let him?
He scooted out as I was going in.
I thought I heard voices. Honey, there was a phone call.
Not now,
for you.
not now.
But it was from Eloise Sutton. She's back in town.
Eloise is back?
Yeah, she finished a day early and she can't wait to see Pierre. How's that for luck?
Oh, brother. Well, don't just stand there. Let's
Any luck?
No.
Did you sing?
Are you kidding?
Of course, you gotta sing. It's the only thing that soothes him. Now, come on.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the... Thanks, Mrs. Hartley. Oh, the sun shines bright on my own Kentucky home.
Ross, what are you doing?
This could be the start of a whole new career for me.
Stick to Rock-a-bye, baby, will you?
Pierre! Here, Pierre! Rock-a-bye, baby! Have you seen him? Is he back here?
No, isn't he out there?
No.
Eloise is here. She's just getting out of the cab.
Oh,
boy.
Here she is.
Well, what am I going to do now? I mean, Eloise will never forgive me for this. And I told TJ I had her in the bag.
no. Oh, Papa, I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do.
How about combing your hair over your face and barking?
Ross,
Hey, wait a minute. That's not a bad idea.
Dad, please, get a hold of yourself.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, just maybe we could stall her for a little. Maybe. Patty, you keep looking for that dog, and Ross, you come with me. Okay?
Well, would you like some coffee, Eloise?
Oh, no, thanks. I just want to pick up Pierre and run. Where is my precious darling?
Right here, my love.
Oh, Martin, you sweet.
Natalie, how about some coffee?
Well, I just asked
No, I
Eloise
really
and-
must run, Martin.
Well, you just can't. Pierre is upstairs having a farewell bath, so he'll look lovely for your reunion. Listen.
His voice sounds strange. He doesn't have a cold, does he?
Oh, of course not.
Well, has he been happy here?
Have you ever heard a happier bark?
Pierre? Pierre, where are you? Pierre, come back here. Pierre, what are you doing in there? Come out of there. Now, come on, hurry up. Your mommy's waiting at home. Will you get out of there? Don't you hear me?
Patty will be much longer?
I hope not. Oh, you mean with the bat? No, of course not.
I do hope Pierre hasn't been too much trouble.
Oh, believe me, there are times we don't even know there's a dog in the house.
Eloise, about the contract, why don't you give up the pleasure of keeping me dangling and sign it?
I thought about it, Martin, and I decided you'd never try to put anything over on me, right?
Help! I'm stuck in this thing! Oh, what I wouldn't give for a couple of pounds of butter. Hey, kid! Kid, come here! What do you want? Come closer, kid. Why not? You're not getting any of my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, look, Sonny, I don't want your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Just come here, please. That's what they all say. And then they steal your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Honest, I'm not going to take your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, look. Look, all I want you to do is you see that red firebox over there? Okay, now I want you to go over there and ring it for me, okay? You're not supposed to ring the fire alarm. My mother told me. Well, I know, but you're allowed to ring it in an emergency, honest. Is this emergency? Oh, yeah, it's a big emergency. Now go on over there and ring the box. Okay. Thank you. Now what? What's emergency? Look, Sonny. You like peanut butter and jelly, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Now look, that fire alarm is connected to the peanut butter and jelly fire department. And if you go over and pull the alarm, you can have all the peanut butter and jelly you want. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, boy.
Say, that fire sounds pretty close, doesn't it? I think I'd better take a look.
Why don't you?
Good.
Eloise, would you like some more coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. I must run. I think I'll go upstairs and give Patty a hand with Pierre.
Oh, wait a minute, Eloise. I'm sure Patty would prefer it if you'd let her finish that by herself.
Now, Martin, I'm just taking Pierre home, not to a beauty contest.
Yeah, but you see, Eloise, you're going to ruin the whole thing for Patty.
Martin, I can't wait. You realize I haven't seen my little darling for 3 whole days?
Yeah, but Eloise, if you just wait another minute, please.
Martin, don't be ridiculous. Pierre, darling, Mama. Oh. How are you, Patty? Oh, it's wonderful to see him. Thank you for taking such good care of him.
Oh, I enjoy taking care of him. He's such a little darling.
Well, it's just marvelous to see him.
Yeah, it sure is.
He does seem a little thirsty. You do have filtered water, don't you, Martin?
Oh, I wouldn't be without it. Ross,
Follow me.
Thank you.
honey, how did you do it?
It was easy, Papa. I had the help of some very cooperative firemen. See you, fellas. Thanks a lot.
Well, thanks a lot, Patty, for all your trouble.
Oh, what trouble?
Martin, how can I ever thank you?
You signed the contract, Eloise.
Well, I'm off.
Hey, look what I found in the front yard.
No, don't shout. There's another way to bring him back.
Oh, yes, we know.
Me.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Butterscotch whip.
Sounds dreamy.
Must be great to be crazy in love. You just never seem to get hungry.
Poor Louis. I guess he's too old to understand people like us.
Aren't we lucky, Rich? I mean, we found the someone we want, and we know that that special someone is always going to be there.
Yeah, it's spooky. Drives everything else out of your mind. Yowie!
What is it?
I forgot to tell Louis to put sprinkles on.
Patty. Hi, Cynthia. What did I tell you? You know Roddy Dawson, the new football captain.
Only to say hello. He's really someone else, isn't he?
Patty, that's what he says about you.
Roddy Dawson?
Himself. My brother told me that he is dying to date you.
He is? Why doesn't he ask me?
Because of Richard.
What about him?
Well, he knows that you and Richard are a thing, you know. Well, anyway, I thought you'd like to know what might have been with you and Roddy Dawson.
Thanks, Cynthia. Bye.
Here you are, Patty. Big Guinness, wild.
Richard, I've been wondering.
About what?
Don't you think we're too young to go steady?
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet! Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Poor Richard, he must have been terribly upset. Well, he was at first. But I explained to him how wrong it was for people as young as us, and babes in the woods practically, to get so deeply involved. I see. And then I tried to tell him that, well, how unfair it was to him for me to monopolize all his time. Yes, of course. How dangerous. Kathy, have you any idea how many people ruin their entire lives by rushing into early marriages? No, how many? Well, you'd be amazed. I dare say. What's his name, Pat? Whose name? The boy who suddenly made you feel you were being unfair to Richard. Why, Catherine, what a thing to say. I'm sorry.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Kathy.
Oh, hi, Rich. Sit down.
Do you think that's such a good idea, considering?
Well, just because we broke up doesn't mean we have to be strangers.
No, I think if we're going to break, we ought to break clean.
Well, that's very mature of you, Richard.
So, if you don't mind, I'll sit over there.
See you around.
Yeah.
Hi, Patty.
Oh, hi, Cynthia.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but, what's with Richard?
Cynthia, can you keep a secret?
Of course.
You won't tell us all?
My lips are sealed.
Well, Richard and I have decided to cool it.
You mean you're...
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, we're still very good friends, but we both feel we shouldn't spend so much time together.
Excuse me, Patty, my ice cream's getting cold. I hope everything works out for the best.
Now watch the signal drums begin to pound. Well, mission accomplished. You know, the only thing I feel pretty flaky about is Richard. I mean, it takes a pretty special person to understand him. I hope he won't be too lonely without me. Oh, I don't think you'll have to worry about that. Well, I'm glad he doesn't have to eat alone. If things keep going the way they are going, he might not get to eat at all. He was never that funny when I dated him.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I had to tell the coach something about the cheerleading. Is practice over yet?
Just finished. How's things?
Oh, just fine. How's things with you?
Can't complain. Take care.
See ya. Hi, Roddy. Remember me?
Sure, you're Patty Lane. Hi.
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 Nice talking to you, Patty.
Hi, Patty. You seen Richard?
He just left.
That's Roddy's latest, Dee Dee Lavelle. He certainly can pick 'em.
And drop him. Cynthia, yesterday you said your brother told you that Roddy was ape for me.
Yeah, how about that? It just proves, Patty. Go figure a man. You know, my brother told me she's already got Roddy's class ring.
You know something about your brother?
What?
He talks too much.
Patty,
Yes, Papa?
you sure you don't want to go to that lecture with us?
Oh, no, this book is fascinating. Have a good time.
Hey, Patty, you're not sorry you broke up with Richard, are you?
Oh, no, Papa. It was the mature thing to do.
Well, it's certainly more sensible at your age to play the field. Have you met any interesting new boys?
Oh, yes, Gads. The phone hasn't stopped ringing.
You'll overdo the social whirl.
I'll try not to.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Enjoy yourself. Well, don't just sit there. Ring. Operator, this is 624-1098. Would you please ring back and check the line? I think it's out of order.
Certainly. Hang up, please.
Hi, this is Patty Lane. Who's this?
This is the operator. Your line seems to be in order.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
I just came by to return this history book.
Oh, thank you. Won't you come in?
Well, just for a sec. I'm meeting Cynthia at the malt shop.
Oh.
Gosh, the old place hasn't changed a bit.
No, not in 3 whole days.
I'm sure flies.
Yes.
How's things?
Oh, just great. How's things with you?
Oh, great. I've been seeing a lot of Cynthia.
She's a lovely girl.
But I haven't forgot what you told me about not getting tied down. I'm also dating Millie, Molly, Julie, Alice, and Leela.
That's very mature of you, Richard.
How about yourself, Patty? You been busy?
Oh, wildly.
Who you been seeing?
Well, to tell you the truth, Richard, all the boys at school seem terribly young to me now.
You waiting for a call?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was expecting a call from, Keith.
Keith?
Yes. Didn't I ever mention Keith Caldwell? He's this terribly rich and social boy I met up in New Hampshire this summer. He was there for skiing.
In the summertime?
Oh, well, when you're that rich, Richard, you can afford to import your own snow.
Keith Caldwell, huh?
Yes. You know, he's top man in his class at this very exclusive military academy.
No kidding.
And captain of the firing squad.
Gee.
Oh, yes. Keith drove down today to show me his new Alfa Rodolfo.
He's got an Alfa Rodolfo?
Why, is that something?
Patty, how come you never mentioned this hotshot Caldwell before?
Well, Richard, one doesn't like to drop names, does one? Richard, it's awfully chilly in here. Would you mind checking to see if I left the back door open?
Oh, sure, Patty.
Thank you.
Operator?
Hello, this is 624-1098. Would you mind checking to see if this number is working?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Door's okay, Patty.
Oh, good. Hello?
Is this 624-1098?
Just a minute, please. It's the long-distance operator. Would you excuse me?
Oh, sure.
Hello?
This is the operator.
Why, yes, Kent. Hello, dear.
Kent? I thought you said his name was Keith.
Oh, well, he's calling from Kent, Connecticut. Yes? Well, of course I'm glad you called.
624-1098?
Yes, operator, my party's on the line. Yes, Keith, dear, you were saying? Oh, dancing at the Peabody Room? I'd adore to. And then dinner at Le Magnifique? Oh, Keith, you're too much. Of course I do, silly boy. All right, dear, see you then. Ta-ta.
What's wrong with that phone?
Hello?
Is this 624-1098?
Yes, operator, and everything is fine. Thank you.
Wow, Patty. You're really living it up with this Caldwell guy.
Yes, dear Keith can deny me nothing.
I guess we're both doing pretty good.
I guess so.
And just think, Patty, if it wasn't for you, we'd still be stuck with each other.
Why, yes, Bruce, thank you. I'd love to. No, I don't know if she does have a date. Hold on a moment. Bruce's cousin is coming in from New Jersey to spend the weekend with him. Would you like him to take you to the dance? No, thanks. Bruce, she says... What's he like? What is your cousin like, Bruce? His name is Arthur, and he's very intelligent. Forget it. I know the type. Well, you could be wrong, Patty. Ask if he plays chess. Bruce, does your cousin play chess by any chance? Interborough champion. About 4 feet tall. How tall is he, Bruce? No, it is stocking feet. Forget it. He says he's still growing. How much will he grow by Saturday? Bruce, does your cousin... How is his eyesight? No, I've never met him. Honest. Patty says he has a wonderful sense of humor. I'll bet it comes in handy. Bruce, Patty says thank you very much anyway, but she can't make it. All right, fine. I'll see you Saturday. Goodbye. Pat, I ran into Richard today, and he tried to pump me about this terrific boy you met up in New Hampshire last summer. What'd you tell him? Well, I just listened. Patty, the only boy up in New Hampshire last summer was about 8 years old. No, I think he was nearly 10. Why did you do a thing like that? Well, I had to come up with something. Since I broke up with Richard, nobody's even asked me for the right time. Now he's suddenly Charlie Irresistible. I'm afraid you made a mistake, Patty. You made Keith sound so glamorous, none of the other boys will ever come near you. Yeah. Boys sure are chicken. Patty, how about this? Why don't you start a rumor that you and Keith had a terrible fight and broke up? Kathy, you want me to tell a fib? Hey, Patty. Oh, I'll see you in a minute, Nicky. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Pat.
say hello to Irving.
Oh, he's very cute.
Richard insisted that I have, and he's getting me a corsage to wear to the dance.
Oh, well, you're finally learning how to treat a lady, huh, Rich?
Yeah, Cynthia's teaching me.
Oh. Gee, I'm awfully sorry we won't be able to join you at the dance tonight.
Yeah, you told me. Keith's taking you to La Go-Go East.
Oh, did I mention that? Yes, we've come to think of it as our place.
I'm so sorry that we won't be able to meet him.
Oh, you probably will.
What? I mean, where?
At your house before the dance. I'm driving Bruce over to pick up Kathy.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary, Richard.
Yes, it is. Otherwise, Kathy will have to walk. Bruce doesn't have a car, and neither does Arthur. Hey, you think Keith will show up in his Alfa Rodolfo? I'd really like to see it.
Well, I really don't know what time he's going to get there, Rich.
Well, we can wait. Well, we'll see you tonight.
Yeah. Bye, Irving. Boy. Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. Shouldn't we be going? What's your hurry, Kathy? It'll go on for hours. Patty? Keith should be along any minute. I'd like you all to meet him, really. Keith? I suppose so. Richard, would you get the door, please?
You bet.
Do you think he'll be wearing his uniform?
Yes, I suppose so.
Telegram for you, Patty.
Oh, thank you, Richard. Oh, it's from Keith. Darling, I can hardly bear each long moment until I'm there. Love, Keith. Isn't that thoughtful?
Never even send me a postcard.
Postcard? We've only been dating for 3 days.
Oh, here he comes now.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Richard.
I didn't hear his Alfa Rodolfo drive up.
Oh, well, that's because it has one of those very special foreign mufflers.
For you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, aren't you beautiful? Oh. Roses are red, violets are blue, orchids are sweet. These are you, adoringly, Keith. Aren't they charming?
In an ostentatious way.
That must be him. I'll get it.
Is this the Lane residence?
Yes, where's Mr. Caldwell?
Oh, the dispatcher said
Oh,
I was
he
supposed
sent this note, huh?
What? No.
Wait in the cab, I'll be right there. Patty, what is it? It's a note from Keith. Forgive me, darling. Will you join me at the Ritz? I ran into an old friend from Paris. Well, have a nice evening. Ta-ta.
Boy, what an operator.
He certainly is.
Well, there are 2 over there, Martin.
Bus 108, now leaving at gate 3 for Newark, Elizabeth, Trenton, and Camden.
Maybe you don't know it, miss, but we've got a water shortage.
Beg your pardon?
That was your 8th trip to the fountain.
Sorry.
You've been around here a long time. What bus are you waiting for?
Well, I'm not really waiting for any bus. I kind of like sitting around bus stations.
I think you'd be better off home in bed.
Bus 110, now leaving for Hoboken, Jersey City, Plainfield, and Morristown.
Hurry! You'll miss your bus, Arthur. All right, Arthur, you missed your bus. Well, you'll make the next one. Hey, let's sit down. We don't have too long before the next bus comes anyway. Hey, how about that dance?
It was wonderful. I'm hungry.
There's an idea.
I need a horse. How much more time before the big bus?
I don't know, about 20 minutes.
I don't think Patty's home yet.
Oh, I forgot to turn off the garage light. I'll be right back.
All right, dear. I'll get the coffee started.
Good night, Keith. It was a lovely evening. I'm sorry it's too late to let you in. Good night. Drive carefully.
They just don't kiss goodnight like they used to. After you. Patty, you amaze me.
I sort of flabbergast myself, Papa.
What can I say to her after all that?
I'll say it for you. I told a pack of lies, which is not only wrong and bad and unethical. It's dumb.
I'm forced to agree.
Don't worry, Papa. I'm ready to take the consequences.
What consequences are those, dear?
Well, I've lost Richard and nobody else wants me. I'll probably go the rest of my life without dating another boy.
Anybody up?
Richard, what are you doing here?
Cynthia gave me the air. Because I wouldn't take her to some clip joint called the Go-Go East.
La Go-Go East.
Yeah, I told Cynthia that Keith was taking me there tonight.
He took off already, huh?
Yeah, he had to go racing. Richard, there is no Keith Caldwell. There never was. I made him up.
Patty, you made it up to make me jealous.
Oh, well,
Richard, you're very perceptive. Darling, I think our coffee's ready.
Good.
In the kitchen.
Patty, you arranged all that jazz, the telegram and the flowers and all, just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, do you think we could start going steady again?
I'd love to.
Don't worry, mature people like us won't let ourselves get too involved.
I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a little involved. Pat? What you daydreaming about? Nothing. I was just thinking, Kath. Wouldn't it be wild if there really was a Keith Caldwell and years from now we ran into each other? Patty, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. He was just a figment of your imagination. I know. But he was such a cute figment. I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is the Lane residence. Who's this? Mr. Caldwell? It's Richard trying to put me on. So, this is Mr. Caldwell, Well, listen, Mr. Caldwell, you may think this is funny, but I think it's just dumb. It's not smart, it's dumb. Because I think practical jokes are the lowest form of humor. And another thing, Mr. Caldwell. Really, that Richard, his sense of humor is so infantile. You think he'd stop needling me when... Hello? It's him again. Listen, stupid. If you don't stop bugging me, you're gonna regret it. I think you're being cruel and inhuman and dumb.
Hi, Patty. What's all the yelling about?
Oh, nothing. There ought to be a law against invasion of privacy by telephone.
Sounds like a good idea. Where's your mother?
In the den.
Here I am, dear.
Hi, hon.
Hello.
Any calls for me?
No, dear. Who are you expecting to hear from?
Oh, from that senator who's going to write the articles on state reform. I sewed up that deal with him.
Wonderful. Say, that's quite a feather in your cap.
Oh, yeah, we almost lost him to the Evening Express, but I turned on the old charm, and who could resist me? Say, girls, would you do me a favor and stay off the phone for a little while? Because I'm expecting a very important call from this Senator Caldwell.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Bar Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
I give up. What is it?
I don't know. It started out to be taffy, but I think it got away from me.
Oh, yeah, it'd get away from you, all right.
They just don't make recipes the way they used to.
No, they don't. Moms usually work.
I got it. Hello, Ross. What is it?
Well, we're not sure yet. We're going to send it over to the lab and have it analyzed.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll get it.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, I should give it a name and package it.
We'll just be sure to put a skull and crossbones on the label.
Hello, Mr. Darren.
Good morning, Kathy. I've got a letter here for Patty.
Oh, I'll give it to her.
No, I'm sorry. She has to sign a receipt.
Oh, can't I sign?
Oh, no, not for this. This is registered.
Oh, I see. I'll get her.
Patty! What is it, Kath? There's a letter for you. You have to sign for it. Thanks, Kath. Hi, Mr. Darren.
Oh, morning, Patty. Here, sign right there.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Good, thank you.
All right.
There you are,
Thank
Patty.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Hey, Kathy, the postmark's from Russia. Who do you know in Russia? Who knows anybody in Russia? The only one who could be writing me, but... Hey, what is it? Do you remember my telling you about that civics assignment we had? We all had to write to some government official? Yes. Well, some of the kids wrote to the mayor and the governor and some senators. Yes. Well, I never told you this, but I wrote to Kozlenko, the head of the Russian Presidium. And I think he answered me.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves her rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Mrs. Lane,
Yes,
I'm Harold Rainey from the State Department.
the State Department.
May I come in?
Of course. I'm sorry. This is Mr. Rainey from the State Department.
Ours or theirs?
It's my husband, Mr. Lane.
How are you?
My daughter, Patty.
Hi.
My son, Ross.
How do you do?
How are you, Ross?
Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you, thank you. The Post Office Department notified us that they processed a registered letter from the Russian Kremlin sent to this address.
Yeah, here it is. It's from Mr. Kozlenko himself.
Mr. Lane, I want you to understand we've no wish to intrude on your privacy, but when the head of state writes to a private citizen, naturally we're interested in the correspondence. Sometimes we get very valuable readings on the political temperature. Do you understand?
Oh, of course. What did he say?
Well, what Mr. Rainey is trying to say, Patty, is that sometimes the head of a foreign government will use the citizen of another country as a kind of sounding board.
Sometimes he might say things in his letter that he wouldn't want to say officially. Do you mind if I look at your letter?
Oh, no, not at all. It's kind of sticky. I'm sorry.
It won't do you any good. It's in Russian.
I read Russian. Well,
What does it say?
Mr. Lane, do you mind if I take this letter with me? I'll give you a receipt and I'll return it to you myself.
Well, I have no objection.
Excuse me, but it's my letter, and I don't mind your borrowing it, but I'd like to know what's in it.
You'll know, Miss Lane, in due time. But first, I'd prefer to take this up with my superiors.
Oh, when will you tell me what's in it?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Wait till the kids hear about this.
Miss Lane,
Yes?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't discuss this with anyone.
I can't even tell my friends?
Not until we've had time to analyze the contents of the letter and decide how you're going to answer it.
I'm gonna answer it?
That's right. You may have a chance to make an important contribution to your country's foreign relations. Nice meeting all of you. Bye-bye.
Wow! Do you realize that the fate of the world is practically in my hands?
Pat, pass the meat, please. Pat?
I made a mistake.
About what?
I should never have given that letter to Mr. Rainey. How do we know he's from the State Department? We let a perfect stranger walk out of here with a very valuable letter.
Get her the international spy.
Well, did anyone ask to see his credentials? If he weren't from the State Department, how did he know you even got the letter? That's my point. If he were a spy, he could find out easily, couldn't he, Dad?
He could be a spy.
See?
Sure, he tricked you out of that letter because he knew Mr. Kozlenko was giving away all of Russia's secrets.
I'll never be able to sleep tonight. I've got to know what's in that letter.
Well, darling, you'll know all about it tomorrow. In the meantime, Patty, while you're waiting to make your contribution to the world, would you like to do something for your mother?
Sure, what?
Pass the meat.
Well, are you satisfied?
About what?
Mr. Rainey said he'd bring my letter back today.
The day's not over yet.
It's 8 o'clock. He's not coming back, and I'll never see the letter again.
Patty, I'm sure he will come back with the letter.
What if he doesn't? The head of a foreign power writes to me, and I don't even answer. Do you know what that could mean?
War.
Go ahead. Kid around. All I know is that
Miss Lane.
Oh, hi, Mr. Rainey.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're not late.
It's after 8 o'clock.
Is it? My time does fly.
This letter, I promised to bring it back tonight.
I'd almost forgotten. Do come in.
Well, hello, Mr. Rainey. It's nice to see you again.
How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Rainey.
Good to see you again. I have the letter right over here.
Well, that's good because Patty was just saying she thought she'd never see it again.
Now then. My dear Miss Patty Lane.
How do you like that? It's the same in Russian as it is in English.
No, I'm translating.
Thank you.
Thank you for your kind letter in which you inquired about freeways in Russia.
Freeways in Russia?
Well, I had to ask him something.
In your country, freeways are connecting links on which automobiles may travel. Here in my country, we prefer the freeways of the mind in which people can communicate with one another. It is a pity, my dear Miss Lane, that our two countries are so far apart. It is sometimes difficult.
Would you repeat that part again, please?
It is sometimes difficult.
No, the part about my dear Miss Lane.
Patty.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
For people to communicate exactly what is in their hearts.
I think it's very interesting what he said.
Yes, we think so, too.
What do you think it means?
Obviously, a suggestion for a high-level conference.
How do you like that? I called a summit meeting. Can I have the letter to show to my friends?
Eventually, yes, but for now, we'd like to hold on to it in case our G7 section wants to examine it.
G7, is that right?
Miss Lane, we'd appreciate it if for the moment you'd keep this entire matter confidential.
Oh, you can count on me. My lips are sealed.
Mine, too.
Naturally, we'd like to continue the correspondence.
Oh, naturally. I can't wait to answer Mr. Kozlenko.
You already have. Excuse me. We've taken the liberty of drafting this reply for you. All you have to do is sign it. If you'll just sign right there.
No, I can't sign that.
You can't.
No, it's not me.
Miss Lane, this letter was drafted by 3 members of the State Department, carefully gone over by one of our cabinet members, then completely rewritten by one of our former ambassadors to Russia.
Patty, sign the letter.
I can't, Mom. Like he said, it's 8 other people. Listen, Dear Mr. Kozlenko, I am sure that I express the sentiments of the majority of my class when I say that the free exchange of opinion is vital in order to achieve a basic understanding among all the peoples of the earth.
Don't you believe in that?
How do I know? I can't even understand it.
It simply means that...
I know what it means, Mr. Rainey. But people don't talk like that.
Oh? How would you say it?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Here we are. Dear Mr. Kozlenko, it was a gas to get your note, and I want you to know I really dig your suggestion about heart-to-heart communication. I agree with you that anything else is a bad scene. I know because I've had this problem with my steady, Richard.
You're going to try and explain Richard to Mr. Kozlenko?
I heard about him going out with another girl. I figured I was wiped out for good, and then I decided to have a showdown. So I went to his house and blew my cool, and it turned out...
Hi, Patty.
I can't go with you, Richard.
You can't go with me where?
Wherever you were going to ask me to go.
I wasn't planning to ask you anywhere.
Well, I can't make it. I have a very important appointment.
Oh, okay.
Richard, there's no point in asking me to discuss it because I can't.
All right.
You know, I'd love to tell you, but, well, I can't.
Oh, sure. Don't worry about it.
I was kind of sworn to secrecy, you know?
Patty, if you want to go to the malt shop with some other fellow...
Oh, no. The malt shop. It seems so long ago.
It was yesterday at 4 o'clock.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I won't be seeing much more of the malt shop, Richard. I'm going to be very busy from now on.
Oh.
Yes, every citizen must make his sacrifice.
Well, when you're through making yours, I'll be at the malt shop.
Before we begin on today's assignment, I have some exciting news for you. You remember those letters you all wrote to various government officials? Well, Patty Lane, who wrote to the head of the Russian government, actually got an answer from him. I know I'm awfully anxious to hear all about it, and I'm sure you are, too. Patty?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Donaldson, but my lips are sealed.
I beg your pardon.
Well, you see, this whole thing has to be kept in the strictest of confidence.
Oh, I see.
Well, I guess it's all right if I mention that I'm working very closely with the State Department. You see, it's a very delicate matter because, well, the fate of the world hangs in the balance. As I said to Mr. Rainey, well, he's actually the secretary to the Undersecretary of State. Mr. Rainey, I said, you can tell the president that he can count on my fullest cooperation.
Patty, where have you been? We've started eating.
I went to the library.
Oh, it's raining out again?
I'll choose to ignore that. Was there any mail for me? From Mr. Kozlenko?
Patty, you only wrote him the day before yesterday. I'm sure he has a few other things to think about.
I guess so.
Darling, put the books away and sit down. What are the books?
Oh, just some reading matter I intend to delve into.
The collateral influence of American foreign policy in fiscal treaty negotiations. Metternich's influence on the post-bellum Austro-Hungarian conflict. The economic aspects of the European common market. It's the sort of books that you just can't put down.
You can't even pick them up.
Would you please explain to him that the fate of the world is nothing to joke about?
The fate of the world is nothing to joke about.
Dad, I've been mulling something over. Would you mind very much if I went to Harvard?
No, but Harvard might.
Patty, Harvard's a boys' college.
Now you got the idea.
They allow girls in their graduate school and in their foreign service school. Most American diplomats are trained there.
You mean you're thinking of going into the diplomatic service?
Why shouldn't I? I've already got one foot in it.
Well, Patty, the foreign service is a very difficult career, especially for a woman.
Claire Booth Luce made it. And what about Pearl Mesta?
But do you realize that you'd be sent abroad? You'd be in a foreign country someplace. We'd never see you.
Why couldn't you and Dad come with me? You could be a great help to me. I mean, the social side of diplomacy is very important. You could be the official host and hostess.
You'd have to give me a little time because I'd have to let him know at the office that I was quitting.
Oh, I'll give you plenty of time. What about me, Patty? Are you just going to leave me here? Of course not, Kathy. You can be my social secretary. Oh, thank you, Patty.
Gee, sis, what about me? I mean, I'm too young to be a diplomat and too old to just sit around doing nothing.
Oh, Ross, I'm sure we could find plenty of things for you to do. You could run errands around the embassy, and you could carry the diplomatic pouch.
Gee, thanks, sis. You're the best ambassador a brother ever had.
Okay? Okay. Get around. But I'm serious.
You are?
Yes.
Ross, where are you going?
To apply for my passport.
I'm not sure yet which country I'd like to serve in, although I do lean towards France. I think France is going to loom as a big diplomatic problem.
Can I ask you something?
Sure. What is it?
When are we going to see this letter you got from Kozlenko?
Monica, if you knew anything about the mechanics of diplomacy, you'd realize the letter is now being examined by G7.
What's G7?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to divulge that.
How about the answer to your second letter? It's been over 2 weeks since you wrote it.
You really don't understand, Monica. Everything we write to each other has to be weighed and reviewed by the experts on both sides. That takes time.
And imagination.
You're suggesting I made the whole thing up?
I'm suggesting that you turn the whole thing over to James Bond. Because, frankly, I'm bored with this whole scene.
That's one girl I'm never going to invite to my embassy. Mr. Darren?
Oh, hi, Patty. Good morning.
Mr. Darren, there seems to be a letter missing.
Really?
Yes, from Russia.
Why, Patty, you got a letter from Russia just 2 weeks ago.
I know, this is another one. It's an answer to my answer.
Well, I'll see that it's delivered to you as soon as it turns up.
Oh, what if it's already turned up?
What do you mean?
Well, you could have lost it.
Patty, I've been delivering mail for 30 years. I've never lost a letter yet.
There's always a first time, Mr. Darren. For instance, your card is sitting out there right now unattended. Someone could walk along and just pick a letter out of it.
Now, why should they do that?
Well, let's say it's a very important letter that some foreign government might like to get a look at.
Patty, I think you've been going to see too many movies lately.
Don't you care about the fate of your country?
Yes, I do, and that's why I've got to get out and deliver the rest of this mail, if you'll excuse me.
For you.
From who, Mr. Rainey?
No, from some girl. She left a message.
Well, what was the message?
Well, she wanted to know if you'd be interested in running for some position.
What kind of position?
President of the Oris Magnum Society.
Oris Magnum Society? I never heard of any such... Ross, is this one of your stupid jokes?
No, honest.
Then it must be Monica.
I don't get it.
Oris Magnum is Latin for Big Mouth Society.
Hey, that's pretty stupid.
I've got to get that goon girl off my back. She and her drippy friends have been needling me all week about that letter from Kozlenko and embarrassing me in front of the whole school. I've got to find some tangible proof to give them. And you can help.
Oh, wait a minute, Patty. I don't hit girls unless they hit me first.
Oh, stop being silly. I'm going to call Kozlenko.
Patty, you're out of your tree.
Come here. Don't argue with me.
All right. Say you do call Kozlenko and talk to him. How are you going to prove it?
That's where you come in. You know that funny little gadget that you stick on the phone and then plug it into the tape recorder, the one you got for your birthday?
Oh, no. Dad told me if I did that again, he'd plug it into me.
Oh, come on. He was only talking about fooling around. Now, do you think Dad would do anything to stand in the way of foreign relations?
I don't know. You sure it wouldn't hurt my domestic relations?
Ross!
Okay, there we are, all ready to roll.
Okay. Operator, I'd like to call Moscow, please. No, not Moscow, Idaho. The original Moscow. In Russia. That's right. I'd like to talk to Premier Kozlenko at the Kremlin. Yes, I'll hold on.
I'm getting hungry.
She said she'd have the call through any minute.
You could have walked there by now. Listen, why don't we just...
Yes, operator, you've got my party on the line?
Well, say something.
Here, you talk.
Nothing doing.
Hello? Is this Mr. Kozlenko?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов.
That means they're recording the conversation, too.
Oh, I better be careful what I say. Mr. Kozlenko, this is Patty Lane.
Beep.
Doing?
Beeping back.
Mr. Kozlenko, I don't happen to speak Russian. Do you happen to speak English?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6 точно.
I guess he understands it. He just doesn't speak it. The reason I called...
Beep.
You knock it off. I was saying, Mr. Kozlenko, the reason I called was because I didn't get an answer to my last letter. I know you're very busy, but...
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6 и 1 четверть.
Mr. Kozlenko, it's very difficult to carry on this conversation. But all I want you to know is that, well, our correspondence means a lot to me. And I'll be looking forward to your next letter.
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6:30.
Have you got any idea what he's saying?
Who cares? All I know is this is going to put Monica in a basket. What's keeping Mr. Rainey?
Oh, relax, darling. You know what the traffic is at this hour.
You know, I probably should be pretty angry with you for making that phone call without my permission, but I've got to admit I'm impressed with the results.
Thanks, Dad.
I did the recording, you know, and the beeping.
I'm impressed with both of you. And as soon as Rainey gives me a clearance, I'm going to write a big story for the paper.
Oh, Dad, that'd be wild. I can just see Monica turning a lovely shade of magenta. I'll get it. Must be him. Hi, Mr. Rainey. Let me take your hat. Everybody's inside. Isn't it wild about my talking to Mr. Kozlenko?
Yes, but I really wish you'd consulted us first.
Oh, don't you admire my initiative?
Well,
Mr. Rainey's here. Shall we get started? Oh,
Hello, Mr. Rainey.
Shall I
nice
turn on the
to
machine,
see you
sir?
again.
I know. Just let me get set here first, please.
Oh, I wish I'd called up Monica. I'd like to see just how magenta she'd get.
All right, Sonny.
Say something.
Here, you talk.
Nothing doing.
Can't you go past that? Hello? Is this Mr. Kozlenko?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 5 и 3 четверти.
Well, what'd he say?
Let me hear some more.
Mr. Kozlenko, this is Patty Lane. Beep. What are you doing?
Beeping back.
Mr. Kozlenko, I don't happen to speak Russian. Do you happen to speak English?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6 точно.
I guess he understands it. He just
You can
doesn't
turn
speak
that thing off, Sonny. That was not Kozlenko.
Are you sure?
Of course it's him. If it isn't Kozlenko, who is it?
May I translate?
Of course.
When you hear the signal, the time will be exactly 8:05 3/4.
You mean she called for the correct time?
I'm afraid so.
We spent all that money just to find out what time it was in Russia?
We?
You mean I spent all that money just to find out what time it was in Russia?
Frankly, I thought it was rather odd when you phoned me. There's an 8-hour time difference. I couldn't imagine what Kozlenko would be doing in his office that late at night.
Well, I must say it's really, well, you know, it is kind of amusing. Kind of. Oh, come on now, honey. Don't feel so bad. Your intentions were fine. You know, Patty, the little people of the world figure there's no way for them to reach people in high places, so they just don't bother to try. Now, if more of them had your initiative, I think the results could be pretty startling.
You mean I don't have to pay for the phone call?
I didn't say that.
Well, I must be going. It's been very interesting.
Thank you, Mr. Rainey.
Thank you.
Mr. Rainey. Oh, here's your hat.
Thank you.
I understand your organization is pretty good about keeping things quiet.
Yes, in that area, I'd say our record's unblemished.
Oh, good. Well, then, in that case, Mr. Rainey, I'd appreciate it if you'd keep this thing strictly between you and me. You see, if any of it leaked out, well, it would ruin my entire social life.
I understand. You have my word. We'll consider the entire matter top security.
Thank you. You see, because I really don't look very good in magenta.
Square. The Patties only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
Expected. You sure you have the right house?
Isn't this the Lane house?
That's right.
I've got a date with Patty.
You have? I mean, come on in. I'll tell her you're here. Patty,
Yeah?
your date is here.
Okay, I'll be right down.
Well, come on in. Make yourself comfortable.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Sit down.
Cigarette?
No, thank you. Are you... Well, that is, you're not still in school with Patty, are you?
Oh, no. I graduated several years ago.
I see. What do you do, Mr. Dawson?
Oh, please, call me Ronnie.
I'd rather call you Mr. Dawson.
I work for Duncan Fish and Ludwell Coles and Hart.
Aren't you spreading yourself a little thin with all those jobs?
Oh, no. That's one firm. We're stockbrokers.
You're not out of college already, are you?
Oh, no, I decided against college. I figured, why waste the time? When the rest of those eager beavers get out of school, I might be a partner by then.
Well, Ronald, how are you?
Hi, Patty.
Nice to see you again. Well, you haven't changed much, put on a little weight, I see.
Oh, yeah, well, I've had that for quite some time.
If you'll excuse me.
Oh, incidentally, Mr. Lane, if you ever need any advice about the market, anytime.
How long did you say you'd been with that firm of yours?
Well over 2 months.
Really?
Oh, look at you, Patty.
Yeah, same old Patty.
Matt, do you know about this?
About what?
Oh, about this fella Patty's going out with.
Well, I know that he used to go to school with her and that he graduated a few years ago. What's wrong with him?
Well, I mean, he's old enough to be her,
Old brother?
All I know is he's got a car that costs twice as much as mine and a mustache.
Oh, I'd like to see that sometime.
What? Oh,
Car
a car
with
with
a
a
mustache.
Natalie, this is nothing to kid about.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? Have you ever been to the place?
No,
Well, then that's where we're going. They got a wild group and it really swings.
that sounds groovy.
The only thing is it's in New Jersey and it's quite a drive. You don't have to be home any special time, do you?
Really, Ron, what do you think I am, a child? I'll just say goodnight to my folks.
Well, you may think she's old enough to take care of herself, but I think that Patty's...
Patty's what?
Oh, ready to go out, apparently.
Yeah.
Where are you going, dear?
Well, that's what I came in to ask you about. Ronnie wants to take me to someplace in New Jersey, and I wondered if it would be all right if I came in a little later.
What?
Well, it's just that it's a long drive, and I might be a little late.
Nothing doing.
Dad, what do you want Ronnie to think I'm a child?
Yes. Now, Patty, we have a long-standing rule. You're to be in at 12 o'clock, and that's final. And don't forget to turn off the porch light.
How many years you've been reminding me about the porch light, and have I ever forgotten?
Maybe it's because your father's never forgotten to remind you, dear.
Thank you.
What am I going to tell Ronnie?
Oh, you'll think of something. You always do.
Night.
Good night.
Great. Look.
Thank you.
All set?
Ron, would you mind very much if we didn't go to New Jersey?
You don't want to go?
Well, it's not that. It's just that... You won't laugh, will you?
What is it?
Well, I get car sick on long drives.
Well, suppose I just drive slowly.
No, that would make me even car sicker. Look, why don't we just go to a nice early movie?
All right, Patty.
Thanks.
You really like that movie?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was very interesting. Particularly the
I
part...
thought it was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, but I like the part where the guy...
The whole thing was ridiculous. In the first place, no stockbroker would ever gamble with a client's money. It's against our code.
Oh, really?
Then you take the part where the cops came in and he broke down and blubbered. Well, no self-respecting stockbroker, but... Are you worried about the time?
Oh, no. It's only 11:15. I've got all the time in the world.
Well, now, what was I saying?
Well, it's 11:45, Nat.
Martin, do you realize that you have looked at your watch every 3 minutes for the last hour?
That's not true.
You're right. You've really been doing it for the last 2 hours. Come on upstairs and let's go to sleep.
I'm not tired, Nat.
Don't be silly. Usually at this hour, you can't keep your eyes open.
Well, usually my daughter's out with a boy, not a man.
Hey, you take the average guy who was in my class at school. It'll be, 4 to 6 years before he's making the kind of money I am. I've gotten 2 raises already. What time is it?
10 to 12.
Why don't we go somewhere and have a bite to eat?
Ronald Dawson?
Yeah. What's the matter?
I'm from the Diamond Loan Company.
You fellows certainly have a strange way of drumming up business. Here, give me a call in the office tomorrow. I'll see what I can do for you.
Look, Sonny, you're 3 car payments behind, and you were warned. Out.
Now, wait a minute. You can't do this to me. I'm a stockbroker and a respected member of the community.
No? Well, here's a writ of replevin that says we can.
Patty, this whole thing is a terrible mistake. You must have mixed me up with someone else.
The only mix-up is when you changed garages 3 times. But we finally caught up with you.
Come on, Patty. I'll try and find a cab.
Oh, wait a second. Do you go anywhere near Remsen Street?
Sure.
Would you mind dropping me off at my house?
Not at all.
I hope you're satisfied. It's 1:30 and she's not home yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the porch light's still on.
Maybe she forgot to turn it off.
Oh, Natalie.
Porch light.
Not there.
Are you sure?
What do you mean, am I sure?
Well, she could be raiding the refrigerator.
I have a talk with that young lady.
Martin, wait.
What is it?
Why spoil her whole evening? I mean, couldn't you wait and spoil her evening in the morning?
Okay. Okay.
have some cereal, dear?
Yeah, okay.
Did you sleep well, Patty?
Me? Like a bunny.
Would it interest you to know that I didn't?
Oh, really? What's the matter? Indigestion?
In a way, yeah. I guess you could say there was something I had a little difficulty swallowing.
Did you do something about it?
I wanted to, but your mother objected.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Patty, haven't you got something to say to your mother and me?
To you and Mom? Oh, my. Happy anniversary, Mom.
Patty.
Happy anniversary, Dad.
Patty.
Why didn't you two remind me?
Patty.
Yeah?
It's not our anniversary.
It isn't?
No. What I'm upset about, Patty, is the time that you got home last night.
Why? I was in bed by 12.
You were what?
Well, I finished, if you'll excuse me.
Are you finished, Ross?
Just about, but I want to hear this.
I think you better straighten up your room.
But he's starting to yell. Can't I just...
Ross!
Yeah, well, I think I'd better go straighten up my room.
What's this all about?
It's about the fact that I can't believe my ears, Patty. Now, breaking the rules is one thing, but I never thought I'd hear you deliberately lie about it.
Lie? Not lying. About what?
Patty, we know you weren't in by 12.
Yes, I was.
Really? Well, then let me tell you something, young lady. At 1:30, I checked your room and you were still out.
No, I wasn't.
Don't tell me that, Patty. The porch light was still on.
Oh, I can explain that.
I'm not interested in hearing any of your explanations.
You're not?
No,
Even if I've got a reasonable one?
you couldn't have. Well?
May I be excused?
But you haven't eaten a thing, dear. You're excused. Martin, she's hurt.
Well, that's too bad, Nat. But this is the first time that Patty has ever lied to us deliberately like that. And I'm not going to let her cry her way out of it.
Patty? Ross told me what happened. Ross? He wasn't even in the kitchen. Well, he wasn't very far away. Why didn't you tell your father what happened? I tried, but he wouldn't listen. Well, I'm sure if you told him the truth. I told him the truth the first time and he didn't believe me. Why should he believe me the second time? Aren't you being a little childish, Patty? I'm sure if you explained to him, he didn't want to hear an explanation. He said so in so many words. So you're not going to tell him? What's the use, Kathy? He doesn't trust me, that's all. He just doesn't trust me. All right, Patty. And Kathy. Yes? This is between Dad and me. Understand? I understand.
Oh, hi, Nat. Patty say anything about why she came in so late last night?
She hasn't said anything about anything.
No apologies, nothing? I don't know why she's so mad. Of course, that's the way a guilty conscience usually works.
Yes, Dr. Freud.
Natalie, this is not a kidding matter. Now, we're going to have to punish her. You know that.
We?
Well, don't try to put it all on me. I mean, it's a case of deliberate disobedience. We can't ignore that.
I know.
Now, I think that 2 weeks without dates would be an appropriate punishment. What do you think?
I guess so.
Oh, don't be wishy-washy about it, Nat. We've got to put up a united front.
Yes, Martin.
Okay, 2 weeks without dates. Agreed?
Yes, Martin.
I'm sure she won't resent it when you tell it to her.
Yes, Martin. When I tell her? What happened to the United Front?
Well, I mean... Hi, Patty.
Hi, Dad.
Patty, I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
Okay.
Right in here's fine.
Okay.
Sit down, honey.
Oh, it's okay. I'll stand.
Oh, I think I smell something burning.
Nat. Now, Patty, as far as last night is concerned, don't you feel that some sort of an apology is in order?
No, sir, I don't.
That's your considered judgment?
Yes, sir.
Well, then you're going to have to be punished.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think would be appropriate?
How about the electric chair?
All right, Patty, if you don't want to be serious about this. Now, I have decided, that is, your mother and I have decided, that you are to have no dates for the next 2 weeks.
No dates?
That's right.
Okay. Anything else?
No?
Hi, Rich. Patty. What time are you picking me up tonight? 8 o'clock. Okay. See you then. Bye.
Hey, Patty, what was that about?
Where's Richard?
He's picking you up at 8 for what?
We have a date to go dancing.
Patty, you must be kidding. I just got through telling you no dates for 2 weeks.
That starts tomorrow.
Who decided that?
But, Dad, I made this date with Richard a long time ago.
Well, that's just too bad.
But I just told him it was okay.
You can call him back and tell him it's not.
That's not fair.
Martin.
Natalie, please. Now, look, Patty, you and I have to come to an understanding about this.
Dad, I made the date with Richard, and I've got to keep it.
You're going to do nothing of the sort.
Why should Richard suffer just because you decide to put your foot down?
Oh, now, wait a minute, young lady. Just because you feel sorry for yourself, don't try to make me out a tyrant.
Then stop treating me like this. I'm not a child.
And you're not an adult either. Because an adult abides by the rules. And if an adult breaks the rules, then he accepts his punishment without whining about how unfairly he's being treated. And he certainly doesn't lie about it.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
Ross, take some vegetables.
I took some.
1 carrot is not some vegetables. More potatoes, Patty? More carrots? How about a slice of meat? Oh, did I tell you about the wonderful name we picked for the church sale? We're going to call it the Bazaar Bazaar.
I'll get it.
I'll get it.
I'll get it. I'll get it. Hello? No, I'm sorry. Patty's at dinner right now. Oh, hello, Richard. Well, what was the message you wanted to give her? It'd be a little late picking her up. Richard, you'll be even later than that because Patty's not going out tonight. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Richard. She'll explain it to you when she talks to you. Yeah, goodbye.
You had no right to do that.
Oh, young lady, don't talk to me about rights. Why didn't you call him and cancel that date like I told you to?
Ross, finish your dinner.
You know, Patty, I don't know what's gotten into you. Breaking the rules, lying, defying me.
I didn't break any rules.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because I didn't.
All right, Patty, do we or do we not have a rule that you have to be in at 12 o'clock?
I was in by 12.
Well, then why weren't you in your bed when I checked it at 1:30?
Because I went downstairs to turn off that porch light. That's why.
You went down to... Well, honey, well, why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you explain that to me this morning?
Because you said you weren't interested in hearing any of my explanations.
I said that?
Those were your exact words.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous, Patty. Why did you tell me anyway?
I mean, why didn't I defy you?
Well,
Why couldn't you just trust me?
Patty, can I come in? Oh, well, go on ahead, honey. Don't let me interrupt. Patty, I could go on at great length about misunderstandings and human frailty, but I don't want to bore you. So I'll just say I'm sorry. I was wrong. Honey, don't you understand? I'm trying to apologize. Well, guess you decided to stay mad at me, huh? I don't blame you. I mean, I let you down. And when you've come to expect a certain kind of behavior from a person, that's a pretty awful experience, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, then maybe you could understand why I did it. Because, you see, I'd come to expect a certain kind of behavior from you, and I didn't think I was getting it. Now, I was wrong about that, but I didn't know that. So, I guess we've both had a pretty hard time getting over our disappointment, haven't we? Do you mind? Gee, I've been fooling around with that for a long time. I wonder if, no, you probably don't remember it. It's just a kind of a silly old song I used to sing to you when you were still in pigtails. See, I think it went like this. A great magician taught me a secret spell to say, and so I use these magic words to steal your heart away. Kimo, Kaimo, stare a stare, mahai, maho, marumpa sticker pumpernickel, supang nipcat, parliamentia cameo. I love you. Kimo, Kaimo, stare, mahai, maho, marumpa sticker pumpernickel, supang nipcat, parliamentia cameo. Oh, Patty, I'm so sorry.
Martin?
Anything wrong, Mom?
Oh, no, dear. It's just that your father isn't home yet.
Oh.
You can't still be bowling at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, maybe just went down to the kitchen to get something to eat.
Well, I don't think so, dear. The porch light's still on.
Oh. Well, this is a fine time to be coming home.
You mean you think I went bowling in my pajamas?
I think you very ingeniously left your pajamas downstairs in case you were caught sneaking in.
What are you doing down there?
I came down to turn off the porch light.
Oh, really?
What a crazy pair, but they're cousins. Rockaloo, you can lose your mind when cousins are two of...
Remember it well.
Yesterday, Dad took me shopping on a terribly fashionable street called Rue Saint.
Rue Saint-Honoré.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I took your mother shopping there once. Left a permanent scar on my wallet.
Hey, listen to this. Dad bought me the most beautiful evening dress, and it looked so terrific on, I made him get one for you, too.
Now, isn't that just like Kathy?
Tell Uncle Martin's dad is sending him the bill.
Isn't that just like her father?
Come on, Dad, don't be mad. A real Paris creation. I can't wait till it gets here. Mom, do you think they could have delivered it while you were out shopping?
No, dear. Ross was here all afternoon.
Look, Ross, I'm expecting a very important package from Paris. He's not even listening. Ross? I said Kathy sent me a package from Paris, France. And if you happen to be here when it arrives, would you please put it... Why don't you listen to me? Would you...
Is this it?
Well, why didn't you tell me before?
Oh, you know how I am. When I work on my cars, I get carried away.
How'd you like to really get carried away? Well, how do I look?
Like a girl in her first Paris creation.
Oh, Pat, it's a sensation.
Thanks, Mom. Oh, that must be Richard. Oh, Father, would you get the door, please?
Certainly, daughter.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to make an entrance.
Hi, folks. Patty ready? Hi, Pat. We're late. Let's go.
Richard, take a look around. Don't you notice something special?
Yeah, you had the place painted.
Richard!
Everywhere from Zanzibar.
Someone ought to give a formal dinner party? That's right. I think it's time we all moved up to gracious living. Don't you agree, Monica?
Yes. Besides, I'd love an excuse to get really dressed up.
And not just us girls, we'll make the boys dress too.
Like suits and ties?
Why just suits and ties? We'll make them wear tuxedos.
Oh, that would be wild.
Then what's stopping us? Let's just decide here and now we're gonna have a formal sit-down dinner party.
With place cards and silver.
And candlelight and wine.
Wine?
Okay, candlelight and soda pop.
Well, I'm with you. When?
How about Saturday night?
That's perfect. For me,
Great.
too.
Good. Then we're all agreed, right?
Right. What time do you want us at your house, Patty?
Well, I think it's a lovely idea. How many people are you having?
Just 4 couples. I want it to be a small, quiet, charming affair.
What are you planning to serve?
Well, I thought I'd leave that up to Andre.
Who's Andre?
He's the French chef you can hire by the night. Well, Mom, he's very in, and he only charges $50 a night.
I will do the chefing. I may be out, but I work cheap.
You have tickets for the theater Saturday.
For $50, I'll cook before I go.
Well, can we at least have a butler to serve?
No. Any other small, simple, charming, quiet ideas?
Well, I did think it would be nice to have a gypsy violinist kind of stroll around and play.
Oh, everybody does that. Why don't we hire Lawrence Welk?
Okay, Mom, let's talk about the menu.
Well, everybody loved what I served at your birthday dinner.
Chicken soup and lamb chops?
Richard loved it.
Richard loves grass. Mom, I'm not putting on my Paris creation to eat lamb chops.
All right. What do you suggest?
Here, I copied this down out of your French cookbook. To start, pâté maison breton.
Fine.
What is it?
Chopped liver. I'll call Sam's Delicatessen.
The soup. Petit marmiton à la Louis XIV.
Chicken broth.
Chicken broth named after a famous French king?
He loved quiet, simple, charming food. What next?
Main course.
What about côtelette d'agneau?
Hey, that's groovy. What is it?
Lamb chops.
At an elegant black tie dinner party?
We'll dress the chops in elegant little black panties. What about dessert?
Well, can't you think of something?
What about cheese and fresh fruit?
Mom, nobody likes cheese, and if you have fresh fruit, the boys are liable to start playing catch with it.
Yes, that's always a problem at an elegant dinner party.
What are we gonna have?
Pat, do you remember that fruit cake your Aunt Ellen used to send us at Christmas?
That'd be perfect. Do you know how to make it?
No, but I'll write Uncle Jed and have him send the recipe.
It's gonna be a groovy dinner. Yes. 1 dozen carnations, 1 dozen gladiolas, 2 bunches of daisies, and 1 dozen roses.
Are you ordering for a dinner party or a gangster's funeral?
Yes, I'll need them late Saturday afternoon. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Let's see now. Flowers, nuts, candles. Oh, I must remember to get candles. Ross, what are you doing Saturday?
You're inviting me to your dinner party?
No, I'm inviting you to get lost.
I'll get it.
I'm not going to let anybody or anything interfere with my party, including
Uncle Jed.
Hattie?
Uncle Jed?
What a wonderful surprise.
Yeah. Natalie, you're looking pretty in a blue ribbon Guernsey.
Oh, Jed, you always say the nicest things.
Want to know something? That extra weight's right becoming to you.
Dad, hi!
Hold it there. Don't cop to being kissed by strangers. Who is this young lady? Don't tell me. It's Patty. Heh, filled out real nice, ain't she?
We're hoping she'll bring us a blue ribbon.
Huh? Huh. Hey, who's this young fella? Can't be Ross. Well, he warn't no more than a spindle-shank calf last time I saw him.
Well, I've grown into a spindle-shank boy.
Well, it certainly has been a long time. Too long, in fact.
Yep, that's just what I got thinking myself when you wrote me asking for Aunt Ellen's fruitcake recipe. Thought to get on the bus and deliver it in person.
Well, we're just delighted that you did. Come in. Martin's going to be so upset that he wasn't here to meet you.
Oh. Still keeping this place hot as a blast furnace, ain't you?
Oh, well, it's not really warm. It's just that our furnace is a great deal more efficient than that old coal stove up at the farm.
Oh? Can you roast chestnuts over your furnace?
Fix the thermostat, Ross. Sit down, Uncle Jed. Sit down.
Thank you. Well, so you got a new divan. Mighty fancy. Uh-oh. Somebody's went and tore the cellophane off of that there lampshade. Say, you don't want these lights on in the broad daylight, do you? You know what I always say.
We need it more than the electric company.
Yeah.
Well, how was the bus trip down, Uncle Jed?
Made it in just a mite under 5 hours.
5 hours? You should have taken a plane.
If the good Lord meant for us to fly, we'd have been born with wings.
Instead of wheels.
Huh? Patty, come here. Sit down alongside me. Tell me all about yourself now. You got a fella?
Oh, yeah. His name's Richard Harrison.
Like to meet him.
Had your lunch, Uncle Jed?
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll eat lunch with you.
We've already had lunch.
Then I'll wait till dinner. I'll just take a sandwich to tide me over.
Fine. What would you like? Chicken, bologna, ham?
Say, that sounds like a dandy combination. Put some Thousand Island dressing on that, if you don't mind, and a little mustard. Have you got any coleslaw?
No.
Forget the coleslaw. Don't want to be a burden. Just put a pickle on it.
Ross, why don't you take Uncle Jed up to the guest room and get him settled meanwhile?
Good. Sure, that's a sweet pickle. That other kind don't set too good.
Mom, how long is he going to stay?
Well, I don't really know, dear. Why?
Well, I love him and everything, but what's going to happen to my dinner party?
Well, why should he interfere with that?
Take it easy on that there banjo case, Ross.
Oh, you brought your banjo.
Yep. Thought we'd all get together for a good old-fashioned hoot.
It's one way he could interfere.
Honey, I don't think there's any reason to get upset in advance because after all...
buddy.
Martin, am I glad you're home early. Guess who dropped in on us unexpectedly?
Natalie, I thought you were going to talk to your mother about that sort of
It's
thing.
not Grandma, it's Uncle Jed.
What? You mean to tell me that old... Howdy, Martin. Oh, hi there, Uncle Jed.
More coffee, Uncle Jed?
Don't mind if I do.
He's really hooked on that TV, isn't he?
I'll say he's been glued to that set ever since he got here. You'd think he'd be worried about using up all that electricity.
I don't think he was till he figured out the free entertainment was a bargain.
Dad, my dinner party's tonight. Suppose Uncle Jed decides to stay parked in there.
Oh, I don't worry about that.
Want a bed?
What do you mean?
There's a big rodeo on Channel 7 tonight. Guess who's not going to miss it?
Oh, Dad, you've got to do something. I can't give an elegant dinner party with Uncle Jed parked in there watching a rodeo.
Patty, he's my father's only brother. What can I do?
Well, can't you take him someplace tonight?
Tonight? Are you joking? We've got tickets for Hello Dolly.
Do you mean to tell me you're going to leave your father's only brother alone on a Saturday night?
Oh, Patty, we've waited 3 months for these tickets.
You know how long I've been waiting to give an elegant dinner party? All my life.
All right. Just a minute now. I have an idea. Uncle Jed?
Shh. It's only the commercial. Yeah, that's my favorite one, Martin. You got a washing machine that jumps up and down there, hits the ceiling.
Please, Uncle Jed. Believe me, there'll be another one on in a few minutes.
What's on your mind, Martin? Uncle Jed, you know who you ought to look up? Cousin Clarence. Clarence with us? Well, him and me was boys together. And that's right. Yep. Used to go fishing every day after school. Sometimes during school. Well, he's retired now, and he lives not too far from here. How'd you like to get together with him sometime? Like tonight? Tonight? What about my rodeo?
Well, you could both watch it on his set.
Oh, Martin, that's a Jim Dandy idea.
Good. I'll call him right now.
Good old Cousin Clarence. Hadn't seen him since he gave up his automobile dealership back home. Martin, put down that phone. Ain't a-going.
What?
No, sir. Wouldn't set foot in that old buzzard's house if I was caught in a typhoon.
Why not?
Well, he sold me the worst lemon I ever bought. 32 Packard.
32? Well, that's ancient history, Uncle Jed.
Here's a piece of advice for you, Martin. Never forget an injury. I'll get it. Might be for me, you know.
Well?
Everything was fine until Uncle Jed discovered a Packard in his past.
Flowers. Who's sick?
Oh, well, they're for Patty's dinner party tonight.
Party? You're having a party tonight?
Well, it's just sort of a get-together, Uncle Jed.
Why didn't somebody tell me about it?
Well, it was sort of a sudden decision.
And you wanted me to go a-visiting tonight? How come?
Well, you see, Uncle Jed,
If you're worried about me being in the way, you needn't.
I think he's hurt.
I better go and apologize.
No, I will. It was my fault. Sure feel rotten about making him feel unwanted.
Well, just explain to him that he's gotten the wrong impression.
Lucky I thought to bring this with me. Nothing zings up a do like a little banjo music.
Banjo music?
Yep. Now, I'll provide some entertainment before dinner, and then afterwards we can all gather around. Ain't nothing helps the digestion like a good loud sing. Well, sit down, Patty. Now, I know you young folks like to dance, and I'm real good at that, too. Oh, don't worry. I know you think I could only play square dances. Not true. I'm right up to the minute. Play polkas, foxtrots, the whole works. Here, give you a sample. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to get them together. Well, haven't quite got the hang of that one. I'll give you one of my favorites. Here.
Yeah, that's very catchy.
Yeah, well, and that's just the introduction. Wait till you hear the song. You know, my foot's the biggest part of my trouble. Well, don't worry, Patty. I'll work out a nice, snappy routine for your party tonight.
You know, Uncle Jed, I think it's time for young Widow Malone.
Young Widow Malone? Say, that's one of my favorites. Never miss that. You know, that poor gal is in a heap of trouble.
Patty, I wish I could suggest something.
I've got an idea.
Yeah?
Why don't you entertain my friends and I'll go see Hello, Dolly?
Patty, I know how you feel. But for all you know, your friends might find him kind of quaint and interesting. I think you're exaggerating the problem. It's all relative.
Mm-hmm. Yours.
Martin, maybe we should give him one of our Hello, Dolly tickets.
You mean you wouldn't mind giving it up?
Me? He's your uncle.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Shh. I want to hear this.
This offer is good anywhere in the metropolitan area. Remember, we'll install a color TV set in your own home for 1 week, free of charge.
Did you hear that?
What was it?
An answer to my prayer.
You sure there's no extra charge for this?
Not a penny, Uncle Jed.
If that don't beat everything. Wait till I get back home and tell them that they've seen the rodeo in real live color.
Yeah, you'll practically be able to smell the horses.
Yippee! Say, Petty, you sure you young people won't mind my passing up the dinner?
Sure we'll mind, Uncle Jed. But we wouldn't want you to miss your rodeo in color.
Petty, I'm leaving you all my money. So to make some.
Pat, I'll have everything ready to serve before we leave for the theater.
Okay, Mom. How's the table look?
Oh, well, it just looks beautiful, dear. Where are the candles?
Oh, I knew I forgot something. Ross!
Yeah?
Look, would you run down to the store and get some pretty candles for the dinner table?
Just as soon as I check out the tape machine.
Ross, there isn't time.
Well, you want elegant dinner music, don't you? Oh, I blew a fuse.
Oh, brother, I really needed this tonight.
Ross! Hurry up, dear. Run down and put in a new fuse, will you?
Yeah, be fast about it. I got to dress.
Hold on there, Sonny. Fuse won't do us no good.
What do you mean?
Take a look outside, honey.
Holy cow, the whole neighborhood's black.
Well, you can't blame that one on me.
That's electricity for you. Not dependable.
Got the radio on.
And at exactly 6:15 p.m., a massive power blackout struck the borough of Brooklyn.
The whole borough?
Yes, the whole borough. Crews are already at work trying to repair the damaged lines, but a power company spokesman estimated it'll be 4 to 8 hours before we'll have lights again.
4 to 8 hours? Oh.
There goes my rodeo.
Mom.
I'm terribly sorry.
It's all right. There'll be another rodeo.
Oh, darling, now don't be upset.
Here, now, Patty, what's wrong?
Don't you understand? I can't have my dinner party now.
How come?
Uncle Jed, the whole house runs on electricity.
Don't see why that should interfere with anything.
How am I going to cook dinner?
You got a fireplace, ain't you? Ross, get a fire started.
Right.
Got candles in the house, ain't you?
No, we never got any.
Oh. Ross, I'll get that. You run on out and get us a whole heap of candles.
Right.
Uncle Jed, you really think this is going to work?
Why not, sis? Eating was invented long before electricity.
Nobody has any candles?
Everybody got there ahead of me. They're all sold out.
Uncle Jed, what are we going to do now? We can't eat in the dark.
No. It's only one thing to do.
What's that?
Make our own candles.
How do you do that?
Natalie, you got any paraffin in the house?
Why, yes, I have.
Patty, take all she's got and put it into a pot and melt it on the fire.
Okay. Do we need anything else?
Here. Need some milk cartons, some string, some clothespins, and some coleslaw.
We still don't have any coleslaw.
Oh. Well, then bring me another pickle.
Poor Martin, stuck in his office.
How to say, fit was invented for elevators.
Uncle Jed, you're out of this world.
Maybe soon, Patty, but I ain't yet.
Patty, it's no use. I just can't get a line. Everybody in town must be on the phone.
Oh, that's it. I'm wiped out.
What's got into the churn now?
Oh, Ross has been trying to call Patty's friends to tell him that the dinner is still on and he can't get through.
Hadn't you got a bicycle, Sonny?
Of course.
Well, don't just stand there. Get out and spread the word, Paul Revere.
Yeah, one if I land, two if I see. Candles, that is.
See, Patty, you can't let life get the better of you. You got to take it by the handles and make it go down the right furrow.
Uncle Jed, will you marry me?
Sweet child.
Oh, Patty, it's just the most perfect dinner. And I really love your dress.
Oh, thank you, Ross. Hey, did I happen to mention that it was an original from Paris, France?
Every now and then.
I got my tux from Louis' rental service.
It's wild, Richard. It's really you.
No, it's Louis. Hey, kids, why don't we go in there and dance?
Haven't you heard, Richard? It's Blackoutsville. Even the transistor radios are out.
Well, what are we going to do now?
Sonny, glad you asked that question. Lost my partner, what'll I do? Lost my partner, what'll I do? Lost my partner, what'll I do? Skip to Maloo, my darling, hey.
Skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip to Maloo, my darling.
You'll find another one prettier too. You'll find another one prettier too. You'll find another one prettier too. Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip to Maloo, my darling.
Bravo!
Why, Martin, what happened to you?
You ever try to walk down 56 flights of stairs?
Oh.
Hey, Patty, I see you had the party after all, huh?
Yep, thanks to Uncle Jed. He managed everything.
Well, you see, there's a lot to be said for the old-fashioned ways after all. Hey, Martin, how about this one? Used to be your favorite. Still is.
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Oh, when the sun begins to shine. When the sun begins to shine. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the sun begins to shine. When the trumpet sounds a call. When the trumpet sounds a call. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the trumpet sounds a call. While strolling through the park one day, in the merry, merry month of May, I was taken by surprise by a pair of...
Hey, Mike! Great timing.
Hey, now we can have some dancing music.
Hey, Rich, I've got a better idea. Isn't that better, Uncle Jeff?
Patty, that there is boss. It's really boss.
Well, you know what I always say. We can use it more than the electric company.
Hey, that's pretty good, Patty. All right, everybody, together now. A 1 and 2. While
Strolling through the park one day, in the merry, merry month of May, I was taken by surprise by a pair of roguish eyes. In a moment, my poor heart was stole away. I immediately raised my hat, and finally she... Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights of crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
Cow. That's incredible.
All right, Patty. What are you reading?
I thought you'd never ask. This book is really something else.
What is it?
Experiments at ESP.
Dad, you told her to stop doing that.
Doing what?
Spelling things out so I won't understand them.
Ross, ESP is an abbreviation for extrasensory perception.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. As if he knows what it is.
I do so. It's like when a person is sickic.
Psychic?
Yeah, when they know what's going to happen.
That's psychic.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Patty, do you really believe in extrasensory perception?
I don't know, Dad. It could exist. Maybe it's just another sense.
You don't even have the sense you're supposed to have.
This book is about experiments they're doing at this university. Listen to this. If a group of people concentrate hard on a single subject in a room, a person with psychic tendencies can identify that object just by concentrating on their thought waves.
Hey, what about the dishes?
In a minute, Mom. Dad, that really happened to me once. I was at a party and this perfectly strange boy came in and I knew he was going to come up and ask me for a date, and he did.
That's what I call a perfectly strange boy.
Why don't we all try it? One of us will go out of the room and the others will concentrate on an object. And when that person comes back, he or she will try to figure out what the object is. Kathy, you want to volunteer? No, thanks. It's your night to dry dishes. No, not the dishes. We're doing experiments in ESP. One person goes out of the room and the other people concentrate very hard on an object. And when that person comes back, he tries to get in on their thought waves.
Pat, why don't you go out of the room?
Me? Okay.
Oh, no, dear. Into the kitchen and start drying the dishes and we'll concentrate on something.
Okay. Concentrate hard now.
Mm-hmm. What'll we pick?
Anything she picks.
What do you mean?
Whatever Patty picks, let's say that's it.
Kathy, that's a little unfair, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I only wish I'd thought of it.
Pat, we're ready.
Let me see now. This table!
You
That's
missed it.
How did you know?
I don't know. I guess I just have ESP.
Pat, let's try one more experiment. Now see if you can guess what I'm concentrating on.
Okay, Mama, we're going to do the dishes.
Hey, she really is sickic.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves her rock and roll, our hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet! Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
I always thought I had psychic powers, and tonight proved it.
Well, that must be Pete for me.
No, it's Alan Brewster for you, Kathy. I'm not expecting Alan Brewster. Open the door. You know, Dad, I think maybe I'll write to that university and render my services.
I hope you're joking.
Why? They need gifted people like me.
Now, Patty, I think there's something I ought to tell you.
Do you know who that was? That was Alan Brewster. He came by to return my book. I'm going up to write to that university.
What's everybody looking so stunned about? I mean, that's just a simple coincidence. Alan probably mentioned to Patty at school that he was going to drop by here tonight and bring Kathy's book.
I think I'd better go up and tell her the truth.
Yeah, before she decides to rule the world.
You know, I'm not sure that trick was a good idea.
Oh, it was all in fun, Nat.
Patty. Kath, listen to this. Dear sir, I have read of the experiments you are conducting and would like to tell you about my psychic powers. Pat, I have always felt that I had this power, but I never really had a chance to put it to the test until tonight. Pat. And I would like to volunteer my mind for the wonderful experiments you are conducting. Patricia. Well, what do you think? I think you'd better tear it up. Oh, you think I should just go there instead? We played a trick on you. A trick? Well, actually, it was my idea. I just thought it would be funny if we told you that whatever you guessed was right. Then you didn't tell anyone in that room what to think? No. Then someone in that room was thinking of the table. Do you mean to tell me you really think you're psychic? Think it, Kathy. I know it. Patty, you are no more psychic than that doorknob. Oh, yeah? Did that doorknob know that Alan Brewster was coming over here tonight? It must be Bill. No, it's Richard.
Hi, Ross. Is Patty here?
Any questions? If so, just ask the doorknob.
Are you ready, Patty?
I'm afraid I can't go out with you tonight, Richard.
You're gonna miss a James Bond movie?
I'm afraid I have other things on my mind.
Yeah, she thinks she's the hunchback of Notre Dame. You know, the fellow made all those predictions.
That was Nostradamus.
Oh, yeah, the hunchback of Nostradamus.
Hi, Mrs. Lane. Mr. Lane?
Oh, hello, Richard.
Hey, Rich, how's your mother's flu?
It's much better, thanks. She's, How'd you know my mother had flu?
I can't explain it, Richard. It's just something, in here. Excuse me.
Something in here?
Richard, didn't you tell Patty your mother had the flu?
I couldn't have. We didn't know it was flu until this afternoon.
She's putting in a long-distance call to that university.
Didn't you tell her that it was just a joke?
I tried to, Aunt Natalie. But I have a feeling the joke is going to be on us.
And I heard that you predicted that Helen's boyfriend would walk out on her. And he did.
That's right.
And that Agnes's boyfriend would ask her to go steady. And he did.
That's right.
Well, Patty, I've got a little problem, and I wondered if I could talk to you about it.
Sure, Russ.
When?
Let's see now. I have an opening Thursday at 4:30.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Patty. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Russ.
I'd like to see Patty Lane.
Patty?
Is she home?
Oh, yeah, but she's got a customer. Could you wait a few minutes?
Yes.
Boy, she's had a lot of kids come to see her, but you're the first grown-up.
Oh, she's wonderful. You'll love her.
You can go up now. Her room's the last one down the hall.
Thank you.
Enter.
May I talk to you a moment, Miss Lane?
Well, you should have made an appointment. I'm very busy, but who am I to turn away a fellow human being? What is your problem?
Well, my problem is that I'm Detective Lieutenant Gregory, and we received a report that you're illegally operating here as a fortune teller.
Illegally?
Don't you know there's a law against fortune telling in this city?
Oh, but sir, I'm not a fortune teller. People come by and I advise them.
How much do you charge?
Nothing. I just do it to help out my friends.
You've never taken any money?
No, sir.
Well, Miss Lane, people who go around advising other people are taking on a lot of responsibility. You see, the people who seek advice are usually troubled. And the wrong kind of advice at that time can do a lot of harm. And besides...
Wait a minute. I'm getting a flash. Are you expecting a promotion?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
I knew it. I could feel it.
Am I going to get it?
Yes. Yes, you are.
No kidding.
Congratulations, and thank you for dropping by.
Oh, wait a minute. Can't you tell me a little more about my promotion?
Hello? May I help you?
Well, actually, I came to see your daughter. I'm Lieutenant Gregory of the Bunko Squad.
Bunko Squad?
Well, we got a report that she was doing some fortune telling. But since she isn't taking any money for it, there's no problem.
You mean there's no problem for you?
Matter of fact, she's pretty good at it. She told me I was going to be promoted. Could I use your phone?
Yeah, help yourself, Lieutenant. Or should I say Captain?
I'd like to see Miss Patty Lane, please.
Is she expecting you?
If she is as talented as I've been led to believe, yes.
Oh. Well, come in. She's in her room. It's,
Upstairs and to the left.
Did you make your call?
I've changed my mind.
Things are really getting out of hand.
I know what you mean. Mr. Lane, have you got a few minutes? I'd like to have a little talk with you.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Enter.
Oh, my dear. I knew you would look like this.
Like what?
Young and fresh and open. I am Madame Olga.
I am Patty Lane.
I know, and one day the world will know.
It will?
My dear, a talent such of yours cannot be earthbound. It belongs to the ages.
Who did you say you were?
Madame Olga, the famous psychic.
You're one of us.
I have given readings for kings, prime ministers, even movie stars.
How did you happen to come here?
Your vibration drew me to you.
My vibration?
Surely you've heard of celestial vibrations.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of new at this.
I know. You must come to see me. I will help. Here's my card. Shall we say Monday at 5 o'clock? I wouldn't discuss this with anyone. There are so many unbelievers in the world.
Yeah, I know. I've got a house full of them right now.
See you Monday, my dear.
I will be there.
Of course you've been having trouble, my dear. You have been fighting Saturn, which is in opposition to Venus.
Is that bad?
Terrible. However, this phase will be ending very, very shortly. Excuse me, my dear. Hi. Oh, I'm just finishing up, my dear. Come in. Be seated. I'll be right with you.
Okay.
You mustn't be impatient. Don't try to force things.
Oh, I can't tell you how much better I feel.
That is why we are here, to do any good we can.
There you are.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Gordon. Now, I'll see you next week at the same time. And remember, don't try to force anything. Goodbye, my dear.
Madam Olga, there's something I don't understand.
Yes, my dear?
Well, I thought it was against the law to take money for this.
My dear child, I don't take money for what I do.
You don't?
Why, no. Oh, I accept love offerings to help us carry on our work.
Oh.
Now, come over here, my dear, and sit down.
What made that go on?
You did. You're standing on the button.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Now, you must understand, my dear, people expect this sort of thing, and we give in to it only because we must capture the client's faith, or we are powerless. Do you understand?
Oh, sure, of course. What?
Some clients have very little faith.
What's that?
That's for the tough customers. The clients.
Madam Olga, why are you so interested in me? I'm just an amateur.
But such a talented amateur. My dear, I have heard that your classmates come to you for readings.
Well, they're not exactly readings. I just listen to their problems and tell them what's going to happen.
I see. And for this you take no money?
Oh, no, of course not.
Not even love offerings?
No.
Oh, my dear. You have so much to learn, and I'm going to teach you. Now, are you willing?
I guess so.
Now, this is what I want you to do. Send your classmates to me, and you can tell me about their backgrounds and their problems, and we can help them solve their problems.
Could I think this over?
Certainly. Why don't you come see me tomorrow?
Okay. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Say hello to Richard for me.
I will. How'd you know about Richard?
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Ryan?
Yes, Patty, sit down.
If it's about that math test, I can explain. You see, this new math is very difficult, and I get all mixed
Patty,
up.
what I wanted to talk to you about were these so-called readings that you've been giving to your schoolmates.
Oh, you've heard about it, huh?
I did. Frankly, I find the whole thing a little disturbing.
Oh. I'm sorry, Mr. Ryan. I didn't know there was a rule against it.
Patty, the whole point is, are you equipped to give advice to others?
Well, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Ryan. Considering the things I've done in the past, it does seem a little strange, but I've suddenly found this power I have, and I don't think I should keep it to myself. I think that would be selfish.
Patty,
Wait a minute. I'm getting a vibration from you, Mr. Ryan. Yes. That new gym you wanted. You're going to get it.
Yes, I know. The money was voted by the legislature yesterday.
You see? Now, how could I have possibly known that?
Because I announced it in assembly this morning.
Aha! But here's something you didn't know, Mr. Ryan. I wasn't listening in assembly this morning.
What does she charge?
Nothing. Just a love offering.
How much love offering?
About $5 worth.
Oh, I don't have $5.
Look, Monica, why don't you take this for good luck?
You don't have to do that.
I know, but it'll be worth it to see your face after you talk to her. Well, I better get down to Madame Olga's.
Will you tell her to expect me?
Oh, I won't have to. She'll know.
Oh, hi, Nat.
Martin, am I glad you're home?
What's the matter?
The principal of Patty's school called.
Oh, Patty passed the test?
Martin, this is serious. He's getting concerned about her being involved in the psychic business.
Oh. Well, it's nice of him to show so much interest.
Is that all you've got to say about it?
Well, I don't think there's anything to worry about, Nat.
You don't?
No, it's just a phase, Nat. You know, she'll get over it, like all the others.
I can't believe you mean that.
Forget it, Nat.
I agree with you, Aunt Natalie.
I can't understand your Uncle Martin just shrugging it off.
Lieutenant, I know you asked me not to say anything, but the situation is getting a little uncomfortable here. Patty's principal called here today and complained about what she's doing, and my wife's been bugging me to put a stop to the whole thing.
I'm sorry about putting you through this, but I just got a call from Patty. She planted the marked $5 bill on one of her friends who's going to see Madame Olga this afternoon. Now, if you want, you can come down and join me. I'm going to move in.
I'm not going to stand by and see this happen to Patty.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to see Madame Olga.
The vibrations I'm getting tell me you're having trouble with the boy.
I'll say.
I see an H.
That's right.
H-A.
H-E.
Henry!
That's right. She's fantastic.
Yeah, isn't she?
Is it going to work out all right?
Yes. He's headstrong, but he's very, very fond of you. What happens in the next week is of the utmost importance.
What do you mean?
You must return next Friday and tell me everything that has happened.
I will. How much is that?
There's no charge, my dear. Just whatever you want to contribute to further the good work. Thank you.
Well, I'll see you at the Shake Shop, Monica.
Okay. I'll see you Friday.
That's the house. Shade's still up. The shade? I told Patty when she passed the marked bill to pull down the shade.
Mrs. Lane.
Hello, Monica.
Mom, what are you doing here?
Well, I'd heard so much about Madame Olga. I wanted to come over and see for myself.
Oh, she's wonderful, Mrs. Lane. Oh, bye, Patty. Thanks. Look, Mom, you can't just barge in without an appointment. You'll have to come back.
Patty, this is your mother?
Yeah, Madame Olga, but she doesn't have an appointment, so she'll be back
Oh,
tomorrow.
your mother doesn't need an appointment. I've been so anxious to meet her.
Well, this is Mrs. Lane and this is Madame Olga.
Please come in, Mrs. Lane. Oh, you're a very fortunate woman to have such a talented daughter.
Oh, yes, that's what I keep telling myself.
Would you like a reading?
Yes.
Please be seated. Now, let me see what vibrations I get from you.
I don't get it. That must have been Patty's friend who just left. Wonder why she hasn't signaled yet.
I'm glad my wife doesn't know about this. She'd really make a scene.
Yes, you have great dramatic talent. You could have been an actress.
Well, I had thought about it. But, of course, after the children came, I realized
that will be all for today.
Thank you. How much do I owe you?
Oh, there's no charge.
Oh.
But the usual love offering is $5.
Oh. I have 10. Do you have change?
Yes.
Thank you.
No! I mean, why break a whole $10 bill? I have change right here. This belongs to you, and this belongs to you, and here's for my mother's reading. Oh, the sun was getting in my eyes.
Let's wait a second, make sure.
Oh, I just happened to remember I'm going to need some change. Do you have singles?
No.
Well, let me see. I think I have 2. Oh, yes, I have 4 singles and some silver.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Okay, let's go.
It was too gloomy in here.
Wait a minute. Shades up again.
Madame Olga, do you happen to have 2 10s?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good, because there's a 20 I'd like to change.
All right.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Mom, do you have change of a 10?
No, honey, I only have this 5.
Well, look, you owe me 5 anyways. Take this and you'll owe me 10. Now, this is for my mother's reading.
But she's already paid me.
Well, that's a bonus.
Now, really, this is too much.
I'm beginning to feel like a yo-yo.
Now, this is yours, right?
No, this belongs to Madame Olga.
My dear, I'm afraid you're mixed up.
No, don't you remember? She gave you a 10, then you gave her a 5, then I gave you a 5 for her love offering, then she still owed me 10 and you 5, so I gave you 20 and you gave me 2 10s, and I gave her 10, she gave me a 5, and then I gave you the 5, so we're all even. Right?
Well,
Patty, I think you're confused, dear.
No, Mom, what's the difference? It's all for a good cause. Isn't that right, Madame Olga?
Right. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Thought you were supposed to be home worrying.
Don't take that, Madame Olga.
What is the meaning of this?
Don't you get the vibrations, Madame Olga? You're under arrest.
What's all that?
Just some junk on mind reading and astrology. I'm throwing it out.
Hello. Is your sister home?
My sister, the heroine? Yeah, go on in.
Thank you.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Mr. Lane.
Hi, Lieutenant.
Hello, Patty. The chief asked me to offer his commendation on a very fine job. You'll probably be getting a citation from him.
Really?
In my opinion, she deserves it.
She certainly does.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you both for your help. We've been after Madame Olga for a long time. You were right.
About what?
They promoted me to captain.
No kidding.
Where are you going?
To get those astrology books back.